There we go.
There we go. Now we're live.
We are live.
All right. So, hello, everybody. Welcome to Film Trigger. And by everybody, I mean nobody. Because nobody watches my channel. That's all right. We actually were going to do this in a private session, and I decided. That's all right. We actually were going to do this in a private session, and I decided.
I think you guys froze and you've left me here live. So the magic of live, correct? It's awesome. So I guess until maybe Stevie and Seth come back, I will just say excited to watch Batman vs Superman. 3 hours, 2 minutes of pure joy with the ultimate cut. It's a movie that I've grown to appreciate more and more as time goes. And yeah, I'm really excited to oh my goodness, they left me alone. Oh my gosh, Home Alone. Oh, this is fun. So anybody in the comments just want to throw out there, how excited are you for, Zack Snyder's Justice League? I'm beyond excited. Hey, Mercenary X84, welcome. I'm so excited to have you come join us. Are you excited to watch BVS with us? The others, their computer froze, so they will be back shortly, and it's exciting. So let's see. Hold on, they're sending me a message here. Probably because, we got a streaming thing to do. Let's see. Okay. So we got Justice League Eve. Zack Snyder's Justice League is dropping tonight. Who's staying up till midnight or whatever time? Are you staying up, Mercenary X84, to watch the epic Justice League from Zack Snyder? Let's see. Go back here. Okay, good. Haha. Okay, I've updated all my chat, so now I should be getting everything in real time. So yeah, just sorry. It's just hilarious. Isn't that how it goes when you're live? You pre-record, you can edit all this stuff out, you're live, and all the fun things happen. Oh, man. I'm getting a message from Steve and Seth. Their entire Wi-Fi just crashed. Son of a monkey. It's like there is some force out there that doesn't want us to watch Batman versus Superman. But you know what? We are going to defeat that force because we are going to watch this movie. So even if we have to send out another link, probably not. They'll probably join. I don't know. But either way, in the replay, you'll have however many minutes of me killing time. So I hope everybody's entertained by that. Let's see here. Sorry, just checking messages here, making sure all is well. And letting them know I'm stalling. So you got to, there you go. All right. So, Mercenary X84, let's talk. All right, what's your favorite of the DCEU thus far before we even get into Zack Snyder's Justice League? I'm kind of hoping Zack Snyder's Justice League takes the cake as my number one favorite. That would be unbelievably awesome if that's what it does. Yep. Oh, man. I don't know. I'm kind of just waiting on orders to see if they get their Wi-Fi up, to see... Oh, man. It's just one of those things. I absolutely love it and find it completely hysterical. All right. Let's see here. Yeah, so BVS is one of those movies where, just to be honest with you, my appreciation for it has grown. I think the first time I did a review for it on my channel, Durbania, I gave the movie a B because I liked it. It was fun. It was entertaining. As time went on, though, like the Martha thing, like it, and I just felt like the Doomsday plot was rushed. But what's funny is as time has gone on, and I've continued to watch it, and I've said many times that the Jesse Eisenberg Lex Luthor is not my favorite Lex Luthor. But as time has gone on, I got to tell you, I've realized the choices that are made in BVS. That includes, even Jesse Eisenberg, because when I look at him kind of as a parody of big tech, I mean, still, he comes off kind of Riddler-like, but it also kind of works. So just him being this parody of big tech and kind of just accepting it for what it is kind of just amps up my enjoyment. Now, I watched this movie 2 days ago. And so Stevie invited me over to his channel, not knowing his entire Wi-Fi was going to crash right when we got started, leaving Durban stranded on Film Trigger to kind of fill time to see what, Steve wants to do. I got to say, I've grown to respect that movie more and more, even the Doomsday rushing thing. So yeah, I like Jesse Eisenberg a little bit better as Lex Luthor, respecting that choice, but also just the choice of Doomsday coming in, because I always did like the idea of Superman's death being the thing that makes the Justice League have to exist. That to me was a very cool and unique concept to bring the Justice League together. If there's no Superman and there is this major force coming to the earth, what do you do about that? And so you got to form a league of other metahumans and people with abilities so that hopefully as a team together, you could be a force against that. So I thought that's a pretty darn cool concept. I just felt like it was rushed. But then at the same time, DC has its own path and Marvel has its other path. And I have to ask myself, what am I doing? Am I thinking about this through the Marvel filter? Do I want so many movies to establish everything? Sometimes I'll say, yes, I do. I would have loved a solo Batflick film before we got into Batman versus Superman. I think that could have helped things a lot. At the same time, just looking at this movie as it is and just diving right in, it really does set it on a unique and...
What happened?
I don't know, but you took me off and brought me back on. I'm having a great conversation with, our people here.
Oh,
There we go.
Can
you hear me?
Dude,
Yeah, I hear you.
Cool.
By coincidence only, our entire Wi-Fi crashed at the house. It never crashes, and it just
That's
did.
hilarious. For a moment, I just sat here frozen thinking I crashed too, and then I realized, no, I'm still moving. Oh, I'm still on the air.
Man, I really hope that doesn't happen again. I don't know why it would. I mean, I don't know. That has to be a coincidence, like an unfortunate coincidence. But
you know what's worse is you got to use that Wi-Fi network to stream Zack Snyder's Justice League tomorrow. I mean,
don't hex me over here. Don't hex me over here.
Phone's not going to be Wi-Fi.
Okay. All right. So
cool.
Mercenary, how you doing? Thanks for joining. Sorry for the delay. Do you guys want to start this movie?
Yeah, I would love to start this movie.
But I am curious. What were you going on about?
I was going on about how my appreciation for this movie has deepened. I talked about how Lex Luthor, that their choice of Luthor bothered me. But as I accept him as kind of a parody of big tech, even though he's still Riddler-like to me, I can accept it. And it makes it good. Or the fact that Doomsday, I thought was rushed and they killed Superman too fast. If I can just accept it and accept the unique idea that the death of Superman spurs on the Justice League, it's pretty slick.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's one of those movies, as I've always said, that like from the first time Seth and I watched it. Hold on. Forgot to shut the door. My cat came in.
Cats.
From the first time Seth and I watched it, I said, nobody's going to understand this movie until two or three movies from this. And
we never got even one.
Yeah. All right. So without further ado, hopefully no more crashes. In 3, 2, 1, go.
There's a time above, a time before. There were perfect things.
There we go.
Diamond absolutes.
All right. Durban, can I still hear you?
Things fall.
Can you still hear me?
Things on
Yes.
Wait, yeah, that's what you're asking. Okay, anyway, yes, I'm here.
All right.
Is fallen.
So when I first saw this dream sequence, I was really I was confused because I thought it was more of a memory rather than a dream.
Yeah.
And then
me too. I was freaked out when the bats were lifting him up into the air. I was like, what are you doing, Snyder?
When the bats lifted him up in the air, I was like, what's going on here? You know, but it took me a minute. Oh, okay, this is a dream sequence. I get it now. Oh, here we are. We got.
I love this music. The best part of this sequence is the music.
And then it was also in Wonder Woman 84.
I was about to say, if there's one thing that people can kind of universally agree on about this movie, is that the score is great, or the soundtrack is really good.
Yes, and I'm glad Junkie XL and Hans Zimmer are returning for Zack Snyder's Justice League because, that needs that touch.
Was Hans Zimmer part of that one?
This was Hans Zimmer and Junkie XL for this one. I don't know if Hans Zimmer was part of Justice League, but
I don't think he was.
I know Junkie XL was brought into this because Hans Zimmer had no well to go back to do a new Batman theme. So he needed Junkie XL to help with that Batman theme.
He did a good job, too.
So I like this. This is the first time we ever see Thomas Wayne fight back.
I know. It's pretty slick, actually.
And a little shout out to Negan from The Walking Dead and Maggie from The Walking Dead. Both of those people from The Walking Dead.
I'm hoping one day we can see Jeffrey Dean Morgan as Batman.
Hey, why did Bruce not die other than it's a comic book movie?
It's a comic book movie.
I suppose that is the answer.
He's a kid. The guy just wanted jewelry. He just want to murder a kid. Oh, you mean
falling in the pit? Yeah.
Oh, well, this is also a dream sequence, so we'll just put it up.
Oh, so the dream is exaggerating the fall to what it felt like.
Right, exactly. It's suspension of disbelief.
I could do that.
It's a hard fall, too.
I love the pearls. You'll see the pearls landing on the around Bruce when he fell, too.
You know, even though we see his parents die in every freaking incarnation, this is my favorite.
Tell Bruce, Mr. Hey, hi, Bruce. I just want to let you know this is my favorite version of you or your parents dying. Thanks.
Martha.
See, I love that the pearl falling.
I do, and I love how it falls in the dream by his hand here.
Right, but that's also I guess it would be a foreshadowing to when Bruce Wayne wakes up from the nightmare sequence and like the papers that are still falling in the background from when Flash was there.
Yes. Well, we'll have to talk about Flash when we get there. But was that a dream, or was there actual time travel? That part is confusing me.
See, I think Justice League might answer that.
I look forward to that answer more than you know.
And I think it was like a premonition brought on like a dream in result of what Flash was doing.
Got it.
Does that make sense?
Yes, it does, because he's traveling through time, probably a time-space continuum type deal, so that would make a lot of sense.
Oh, this Batman score, I love this.
I do
Batman
too.
Score.
Did you notice when the kid is up towards the light, his silhouette from looking up looks like a bat? Like, look at his silhouette there. It looks like a bat. Oh, coming up here. You'll see it. It's a bat.
Oh,
I can kind of see that. Yeah,
I never caught that.
Freaking bat signal, right? It's a freaking giant bat. That's what it looks like.
In the dream, they took me to the light.
Yeah, when he said "in the dream," I'm like, okay, that makes sense. Okay,
Oh,
we're not just going full suspension of disbelief here.
Even when I first watched the movie, I didn't catch that. I didn't catch him saying "in the dream." So for the rest of the movie, I was still like, "Really? That?" I was like, "That's a weird way to do that." But
now, this was excellent because I think, Bruce Wayne through this whole movie represents the human perspective of Superman, how humanity sees him. So I love this entire sequence, the ending of Man of Steel through Bruce Wayne. I mean, the music, the action, it's amazing.
And just the different perspective of the movie we saw before. Yeah. Watching it from a different angle, I really enjoy that. Like when Zod discovers he can shoot lasers out of his eyes.
That's a great moment. I love that moment.
Right, but then we see it from a different perspective with the lasers going through the building here. I love that. It's so cool.
And you see it like blinking in and out as if he's blinking his eye. This guy drives me freaking nuts. Who is this guy? And why wasn't he evacuating? I love this sequence. That always bothers me. They all should have already been out of the dang building.
that was part of my what I don't like list of this movie was the fact that this guy could have easily just like left the building, you know. And it was on my what I do like about was how Perry White was like, okay, let's get out of here now.
Yeah.
Like when you see Man of Steel and everything's going, everybody out of the building right now.
I've always, or not always, but I've watched this scene multiple times, this movie, and I've always wondered, since you see glimpses of scenes from Man of Steel in this scene, what if somehow there'd have to be heavy editing, but what if somehow they made a like a super cut of both movies like combined somehow? I've always wondered if that
would be amazing.
I know they said they were going to do that with the It movies, but they never actually did.
I would love it if they did something like that. That'd be amazing.
I mean, as much as it sounds good, I just don't want to own 15 copies of the same movie. I'm going to be honest with you on that one.
Well, that's where me and you differ.
I own 3 copies of Lord of the Rings. I have the Blu-ray copies. I have the the DVD, the Blu-ray, and I just got the 4K. So, you know, I'll just keep going.
I don't mind if you own them. I'll piggyback off that just fine.
I plan on buying Batman v Superman on 4K next week. Well, because
we're watching 4K.
They're releasing the IMAX on 4K.
Oh, the IMAX.
That's what I want.
Now, I like the emotion in this, you know, when he's saying Father God, you know, he's saying that prayer right before he dies. I like it. I think it's very cool. I just still have this hard time believing people didn't run out of that building as soon as aliens invaded.
Or the fact that he's the only one seemingly up there, so he stayed after everyone got out, like the captain goes down with the ship sort of thing.
Yeah, and on the one hand, I get it. If he's a boss of some type and he just ran up there just to double check everybody's gone and just happened to be trapped. But they didn't really... I guess they don't have time to establish that, so I can't fault the movie there, but it's just like, oh, come on.
Yeah, it kind of came across as like he had deer in headlights moment.
Yeah, that is.
All right, so if you're just now joining us, if you guys want to join us watching BVS, we just started it not too long ago. We're at 8 minutes and 21, 22, 23 seconds in. For the 3 of you out there, hey, say hello. We would like to talk to you. Or we'll just nerd out watching this movie by ourselves, either one.
Yeah, we definitely want to hear your comments as the movie's going too and your observations. Fight with us if you disagree with us, because that will make this even more fun.
Wait. I can't feel my legs.
By fight, I mean be polite.
I can't feel my legs. You're going to be okay. You hear me?
Now, they were in a movie together. What movie were they in together before this? I think it was...
But you know what? I don't like this guy.
Well, you're not supposed to.
Well, no, like I think his wife let him because he's throwing himself a pity party from this day forward. You know, like, I mean, I can't imagine the trauma of what he's going through, but, you know, he just was one giant pity party.
Yeah. And he was a little upset. I don't know. I mean, from what I gather, he became obsessive after his wife left.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's up for interpretation that maybe
the way he talks to the lady and says, "Oh, I can't even pee standing up," and you know, he goes, "I'm not even a man anymore." I would have loved
it if he would have said, "Yeah, me neither." What's your point?
Yeah. I hope her mother is somehow alive. I know we never really find out, and the indication is she's dead, so it's tragic. But I hope she's alive.
What the hell was she doing down there anyway?
She might have been in the daycare. Maybe the daycare's like towards the bottom because you saw all the kids in the buddy line. So you know. Maybe she's separated.
I was gonna say, I sometimes wonder, like, oh, why didn't she just move? That was about to fall on her, but she's also a little kid, so
yeah.
I've seen you do dumber things.
You probably have.
18 months later. Every time I do math, and I go year and a half. Okay, I hate math.
That's such a beautiful shot.
It really is. Makes me want to go vacation somewhere in the Indian Ocean. It looks so pretty. Now, how did the kryptonite just float over there, or is that just debris that landed there and is now stuck to the coral?
That's debris that landed there. It's obviously like it's like when a volcano explodes and like the magma comes out and it like hardens as it hits the water. That's what happened there. It must have been like kryptonite to breathe, and it flew and hit the water, and then immediately created this, like carbon shell, just like magma would do, like lava. That's what I gather. That's why it was like so fused to the rocks.
I mean, it makes sense to me.
It looks like volcano rock. That's like carbon. Like carbon.
It is an alien ship that exploded, so who knows?
Yeah, why don't they have a big tent around that thing like they do the one in the city? That's just sitting over there in the ocean with nobody investigating it.
Wind is bad luck.
Now, I did not like this use of Jimmy Olsen. I'll tell you that much.
I think I agree with you on that. I mean, I thought Jenny was the Jimmy Olsen. Like, I thought that's what that was. And
Me too. Exactly.
This is Jimmy Olsen. It's like, Snyder, were you trying to tick some people off?
Well, there is a version where Jimmy Olsen is a CIA agent somewhere in comic lore. So it is accurate in that sense. And I'm not going to sit here and spit comic book accuracy to people because I don't really read the things. But I have been told that, that while there is a version, I think it's in the comments of my video, my review for this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, they said there is a version where he is a CIA agent. And so it's kind of playing homage. But I'm like you, I thought Jenny was the Jimmy Olsen character,
Jakarta the one.
And I was fine with that.
Yeah, I was cool with that.
Yeah. But in the end, to me, like, even though this guy says he's Jimmy Olsen and shoots him in the head, I guess I still, in my head, Jenny fills that position for me.
Yeah.
And she's not a big role anyway, so it doesn't really matter in the end.
I wonder if she's in the Snyder cut.
Go ahead.
I wonder if she's in the Snyder cut.
Who,
Jenny.
Oh, Jenny. Yeah, I hope so. I hope we get more Perry.
Because I hope there's Jenny. I hope there's Perry White.
I would love to see more of Perry
White.
White.
I got a theory that Perry and Jenny know Superman is Clark Kent, or at the very least, Perry White knows, because they saw Lois and him making out at the end of Man of Steel, and
I am. He's a man.
He dies the same day, and I don't know. I have theories that they know.
Well, I had theory that Perry White already knew. Yeah, like you, that Perry White already knew. He already knew that Clark Kent was Superman, because that's why he's so concerned about him in this movie.
Yeah,
if you notice, he's like when Clark's not there, he's wondering what happened to Superman. Like what's going on? There's something bigger going on. He knows it. He's a smart man. He's not dumb. He knows what he's doing.
So when he's a jerk to Clark, he's just trying to humble the man.
Right. Well, I think that's his way of helping Clark stay in disguise. I think that's his integrity, is to help Clark. I'm gonna treat you like this so people don't accidentally look at you in the light of being, heroic or courageous. I'm going to talk down to you. I think that's Perry White helping Clark Kent disguise himself as Superman, or as Superman as Clark. You know what I'm saying?
I think it's funny that we're in this scene discussing Perry White.
Well, that's what this is. This is what we take. This is our take.
Well, this is how you and I watch movies back in the day.
Yeah.
Well, not on computers, but the way we talk during them.
No.
This is new normal. Yeah.
Yes.
He's a photographer.
Now, what blows my mind as we get into it, the stuff they cut. So as we're watching the Ultimate Edition,
yeah,
like the whole thing with the drone coming in and everything, it's like, how could they cut all of this stuff and get away with it?
Well, it doesn't only blow your mind, but it blows Jimmy Olsen's mind too.
Oh, poor Jimmy. Well, his mind was blown in both versions.
But did they cut that out in the theatrical? The actual, like, seeing the blood come out in the infrared.
I haven't watched the theatrical cut since theaters.
Me neither.
Just throwing that out there.
So to ask me what's not in the theatrical, that's bad. I know this part here was not in the theatrical because I was so astounded that this would get cut.
This is Batman v Superman to me. There is no theatrical cut.
I agree. Somebody spilled coffee on their keyboard, and that's how we got the theatrical cut.
Ignorance is not the same as innocence, Miss Lane.
Now, what's it? That's what, KG Beast? Is that his name?
Is that his name? I have no idea.
Yeah, KG Beast, I believe. Now this guy's double dipping. He's also in Marvel.
He is.
Is he really?
Yeah, he was
He's
not.
in Winter Soldier.
He's in Winter Soldier, and they brought him back.
Oh yeah.
Like that same part, but in the
In Endgame.
Endgame.
Right?
Yeah.
Well, I guess since he didn't have a big role in Marvel, then he is not
Well,
under
it was-
contract, and he could do it.
It was a decent role. Like
Very similar role.
it was a very
but it's
simple
not like
role.
it's not like one of the heroes are a famous villain. It was a decent role, so I'm guessing the fact that it's not a mainstream villain.
Quickly, he's coming.
Now you see the fact that they're burning the bodies here makes sense. Why people would think Superman came in and killed these people. It is unbelievable that the theatrical cut this scene, and we had to think somehow Superman was framed.
2 lights.
Yeah.
Passing Python.
But I don't get why. I mean, I don't know. Why wouldn't Superman just come out and say, "I didn't do that"? Why would you guys think I did that? What part of anything have I ever done would make you think I would just kill a whole bunch of innocent people?
Unfortunately, that's not the way the court works. But
Target locked.
You are clear to
I meant
engage.
before he went to court.
Armed hot and in range.
Before he went to face Holly Hunter.
3, 2.
Come on, Superman.
We all knew he was coming.
Yeah, we did. Boom!
Link's been hit.
By
I love
what?
it. So you got to think, Luther took a huge step of faith in that move there.
Do we see
Well-
the inside of our head?
The way I look at Lex Luthor is this is plan A1.3. If
I
it
do
does,
agree,
if
yeah.
this doesn't work, then there's a plan A1.4. You know, and like there's probably a whole list of things that happen just in case something doesn't pan out exactly the way it happens.
Now,
Or he-
I can't imagine Superman killed that guy. I mean, do you think that guy's dead?
I wouldn't be surprised.
I mean, I have no idea. I why not?
Well, it's because Superman isn't Batman. He killed Zod and he felt guilty. So I would think he wouldn't have killed that dude and maybe took him to international jail, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, but we're also talking about the same Superman that would rip out Batman's heart for killing Lois. So
Well, not only was that just a dream, that was
It was a
nightmare
vision.
Superman.
Vision.
11 years in the future,
Literally
assuming
a dream.
Superman's world was taken from him
Yeah.
by Batman.
No, I don't.
That
I
circumstance.
don't know. He might. I would assume that he's not dead, but he doesn't feel very well.
I
Oh,
agree,
yeah, wouldn't be
yeah.
surprised. He definitely has broken bones at the very least.
I mean, he'll wake up from his coma in about 3 months.
I don't know. I guess I never really thought about like if that guy died or not. I just never considered it. I
Well,
just,
it's one of the many complaints I've heard from people as they complain. Like, to me, it's just kind of minor, whatever. But like a lot of people seem to complain about that.
I just assumed. All right, threat neutralized. Done.
Yeah.
Like, Holly Hunter does so good here. Like she
I
does so
agree.
good in this movie.
No mercy in the villages.
That guy's a dick.
Yes.
My parents tried to run.
Now, this lady that's testifying, it's crazy that in the theatrical cut, this is her only scene, if I remember correctly.
No one has asked what he should do.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, they cut everything else. You don't see her die, you don't see her come clean to Holly Hunter. You don't see any of that. None of that.
Yeah, I know that whole walking up to the
I think to God.
like to the scene with Lex Luthor when he blows up the Capitol building. I know that was cut. Like her like saying when she found out that Lex Luthor was behind everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was also cut from the movie too.
See, I don't remember everything that wasn't.
Yeah, I vaguely remember things. Like I don't remember if that's her only scene or not.
Imagine taking that football game that they're watching had Victor Stone.
I know that would have been great.
I was just going to comment on that. I was just going to say that. He could be down there for all we know. This could be
It
the
could be.
game we flash back
You don't
to
know.
Justice League.
I want to see what his number is in the on his jersey and see if it matches any of these numbers.
Well, that is something we'll have to do in a future video. It's like the matchups between Batman versus Superman and Zack Snyder's Justice League.
Yeah, well, whenever we get onto that post game show,
That is a good idea.
yeah, we did a pregame showed a pregame for the Snyder Cut on Durban's channel at Durbania, which if you want to go to his channel and subscribe, his link is in the description. Yeah, we did a pregame show, and so I hope we get to do a postgame show. I love this introduction to
I love
Batman.
the music. Just the music you hear in this scene is so freaking good. Gosh, it's good.
I love how Batman genuinely seems terrifying.
Yeah.
in this movie. Like, of course, we've seen like scary Batman before, but I don't think we've ever seen anything on this level of like everyone being.
I think the
terrified.
scariest we got before this was Nolan, because Tim Burton wasn't scary at all. He was dark and creepy, but he wasn't scary.
Yeah.
Nolan was close, but this is, this shows you the real terror of Batman.
Yeah, that right there. That explains it all.
Yeah.
Like, he saved us, but don't let us out. He's still here. We're safe in this cage.
The devil saved us, but we're going to stay in the cage while he's around.
Because, he's the devil.
Yep.
Boom.
Now, the only reason I wish we had a solo Batman movie before this is because I want that moment to occur where he started branding people, and then to show us what broke inside that he started branding people.
Yeah.
Because I don't think he's doing it for them to die in prison. I think that's Luthor's doing, because he's paying people to kill the branded people. But I want to see that moment where Bruce broke.
But how does Bruce not know that these people are being killed in prison? How does he not know that?
Yeah, exactly.
If everybody else knows that, how does he not know that?
Yeah.
Now this shot here was something I thought was very creative, and I think some people don't like it, but I love how Batman's literally hiding in the shadows here.
Yes, and he's right there in the corner. Like, you can't even see him right now, but he is in plain freaking sight, just like you said, in the shadow.
And this is a very Batman moment.
I didn't even notice him on the big screen until the guy started shooting at the wall.
Yeah.
Yes! I think I'm like 2 seconds behind you, but that's okay.
Christ!
Okay, but imagine if he didn't miss that.
I never saw him
shot at his
before. I
partner.
didn't know.
You almost took my face off.
It doesn't matter.
How about you don't shoot the
Batman
kid?
gets shot in the head later in this movie. He would have been
He
fine.
lived.
I said his partner.
Not
at Batman.
if he accidentally hit his partner.
Yeah.
Now, that
Yeah,
Spider-Man thing he did across the ceiling, I loved it.
If he accidentally hits his partner and like shoots off half his face,
Man. Two-Face.
yeah,
Oh, that would be awesome.
that's like low-hanging fruit of like Two-Face origin stories.
Yes, it would be. Oh, man. I would love to see the Snyder versions of Two-Face and Penguin and all those things. I bet Snyder's would be exceptionally dark.
Of course, most people would love to see the Snyderverse continue on HBO Max, which, if it happens, that's where it's going to be. But let's say it doesn't. Let's say it does not happen. I'd still really like for them to do comics.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Like they did for Smallville. They continued after the final episode with comics.
Yeah. And you could do more. You could do more than just Justice League 2 and 3 in comic form. You could do like Man of Steel 2. You could give Ben Affleck his solo Batman run or whatever.
They're
There's a lot-
continuing the Burton-verse with comics and the Richard Donner-verse with comics.
Yeah.
I'm excited for that.
Also, that's when I'm like, cool. Well, let me know how it pans out,
Yeah.
because I don't like to read comic books. I like to watch movies.
I
Yeah,
agree.
I agree with you too. But if they release it in a comic form, I'll definitely get it.
Surprise you.
Man, so close to getting Lois Lane
They have
nipples.
hearings about what happened.
Oh, Steve.
I don't care what they're saying.
Oh, the Durbanator, Aaron Anderson.
Could have been blown up or shot.
What's
up,
up,
Aaron?
Aaron Anderson?
What
So,
happened.
tell Aaron Anderson where we are in the time code, and he can join us.
Thank you.
Oh yeah, Aaron, if you want to watch Batman v Superman with us, at least I am, and I think Durban's just like a couple seconds ahead or behind. 25 minutes and 43, 44, 45, 46 seconds.
So join us, Aaron. Watch this movie on this Justice League Eve.
Zack Snyder's Justice League, Eve.
Yes.
Where Zack Snyder will come down our chimneys and leave us presents of his true vision.
Oh no, I don't have a chimney, but I have HBO Max. That's a chimney. That's close enough.
That's a virtual chimney through HBO Max.
Good.
That's how it works. What's going on, Aaron? Are you watching the movie with us? If not, do you have any questions about the movie? Or are you just here to celebrate Durban? Come on, right here. Perfect. Lowest lane nipple. Should have been a lowest lane nipple right there. I'm just saying. Call me a creep. Call me what you want.
But
My son just looked at me like I'm a creep. I guess you guys can see that. By the way, this is my son Seth, and he's literally right across the studio from me.
Hello.
Oh, good idea putting a timestamp on the thing.
Yeah, I mean that's now old, but you know it'll get him there.
Well, it has the timestamp of the timestamp.
That's right.
You
know, I gotta say, I was confused by what this was the first time I watched this movie because it doesn't look like your typical bat cave, but I like it. But
This was all
You know,
all that
you know
water and stuff.
I really like the fact, like, everything in the bat cave in this area that they're in, everything is suspended.
Yeah.
It's hanging from the ceiling except for the chairs.
I love this idea.
The voice changing.
The voice changer.
Yeah.
I wonder if what inspired that is Christian Bale's thing that he did. I wonder if that inspired.
Last night,
Voice changer is a better idea than that.
Maybe first of all, when Ben Affleck was cast,
Anatoly,
I was very concerned about his voice because he has a very soft voice.
But he's based out of the port of Gaza.
And I remember, like, at first I was like, I don't know if I want to. I don't know if I want Ben Affleck to be in this role just because of his voice. I said it's going to come down to his voice whether or not I'm going to like his Batman. He could be the best acting Batman, but if his voice is weak, I just can't get behind it. And when they pulled this off, I was like, perfect. That is freaking perfect.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. But I love this Alfred. I think of all the live action Alfreds, I love this Alfred.
Yeah, the way I described him in my review was like, I described the Tim Burton Alfred as, he was like the motherly figure. He was always going around picking up stuff, cleaning up after Bruce. And then Michael Caine was more of the fatherly figure. I feel like this Alfred is like the cool aunt. The cool aunt, like, she'll be strict with you, but she'll also have a sip of her beer or something too.
Yeah. Also, I get the feeling this Alfred's a fighter more than the other Alfreds.
Oh, cool! Aaron's all caught up with us. Sweet.
Yes.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, look, it's the best Lex Luthor.
Oh, look, it's the best Lex Luthor. Seth says. I agree. I think that this is the best Lex Luthor. I love it.
To me, the best Lex Luthor is Michael Rosenbaum on Smallville.
I've never seen
Smallville. And that's why he's not your favorite, because even if you don't like the show, if you watch Michael Rosenbaum and just separate his performance from what you don't like of the show, you'll be blown away by what that guy can do.
I might check out Smallville. It's long, but I might check it out.
Yeah, that's definitely a slow burn getting through that one. How many seasons are there of that?
Like 9 or 10, right?
There are 10.
That's not too bad.
10 complete seasons. Of 23 episodes.
Well, you have to remember Anya is out here watching Grey's Anatomy, which is like 18 seasons or something.
That's
and trust me, I've skimmed through most of them.
That doesn't make Smallville being 10 seasons any better, but I might check it out.
Where they keep the remains of the Kryptonian.
Smallville is really good.
And when we expose
I've always wanted to get into it.
This happened.
I don't know.
Wi-Fi is atrocious, but he's here. Aaron, if you rewatch this video, you'll see some atrocious Wi-Fi at the very beginning.
Among the fishes.
I'm not.
Oh yeah, we went black. Yeah, Seth and I went blackout.
Yeah,
because of our Wi-Fi crash.
5 minutes. It was great.
Hey, kudos to you, man. You really held your own on that one. Or you held us. You held us up for that one.
Thank you.
And why would we want to
It's fun.
weaponize?
I love talking Superman. Seth, were you trying to say something?
To use against the Kryptonians, so the day
Yeah,
does not
I was just
come
gonna point out,
when
like,
our children are waiting
I don't
for
like
us to
diving
represent.
into like
Last I looked, the
incredibly
only one of
long
those flying
shows
around up
because
here
that
was Superman.
that can take
Yeah,
months to finish.
Superman.
You know,
Yeah, but there
I
are
like sticking to
there are
shows
more.
with 1 to 2
The metahuman
seasons at
is
least so far.
Yeah.
I
why
guess I watched Smallville as it aired, so it has that special place in my heart. So when I did the
Yeah.
whole series on my channel, it wasn't so hard because I've already been there, done that, and I got through it pretty quick.
Yeah, as of recently, the longest show I've dived into was Breaking Bad. But even then, that's just like 60 episodes or something.
Right.
Yeah.
Smallville
How
was over 200.
is Smallville on HBO Max?
No, it's on Hulu.
Help each other.
It's on Hulu.
Oh.
We have Hulu.
Could you step into my office here?
I always
I wish
forget
it
we
was
have
on
Hulu.
I also forget I have Hulu.
Yes.
What's your wish list?
Well, Aaron Anderson, to answer your comment, he said, I have so many issues with this film. Still enjoyable, but I think it was a missed opportunity. So, Aaron, let's hope Zack Snyder's Justice League fills in the gaps and makes it not a missed opportunity. We have that possibility.
Are you watching these live on the YouTube channel, Durbin?
Yeah. See, I
Oh,
got
okay. Yeah, I'm
Oh,
watching it
man.
on. Yeah, I'm watching it on StreamYard, and I'm getting a lot of lag on the comments. So I'll bring it up on my phone. You've done this a few times, though, haven't you?
Yeah, I've noticed that for some reason StreamYard does seem to have a little bit of a lag popping up the comments. So I always like to have my phone open to it because you never know what it really looks like. So I always have that ready.
Okay, yeah, I see us now. Cool.
I love Lex Luthor's theme. It is
Me
my
too.
favorite Lex Luthor theme of anything, including Smallville. Like, this is the best Lex Luthor theme music I've heard.
You want Zod's body.
Okay.
It makes sense for him to be like this.
Yeah, it makes sense. Like, to me, this is what a madman looks like. This is what a madman acts like.
Well, especially
Excuse-
Madman in our day and age, right? Like,
Yeah.
I'm coming to terms with this Luthor. He's obviously still not my favorite, but I'm learning to accept it as it is. And I'm finding when I do that, I can enjoy it more. And I think you're right. As a madman with big tech, which I'm sure he's into, that this is what he would be like. And it helps that he played Mark Zuckerberg.
Because the time has come.
I didn't really think about that. Yeah.
The other side of the story. They say
That was
that
one
Superman
fake
is a
ass
hero,
looking egg.
But who's hero?
Yes, it is. I think that every time.
Right now, what would you want to say to him? That my family too had dreams.
So, Aaron,
To look him in his eye,
Aaron, if you're still watching with us, what are some of the issues you had with this movie?
which lives count and which ones do not.
Actually, I think this was her last scene in the movie. So we had the court scene, and then I think she was on the TV, and then no more, which sucks for the theatrical cut. Rocks for our
That's
ultimate.
crazy to think about here.
Now, this is my problem with.
Wait, look
it
at
was-
this. Hold on. There's a really cool headline right here. I think it's that one where it says Superman. Okay, look, there's a headline that says he shifted the tectonic plates. Which to
What's
me
he doing
is-
right now?
Oh, I don't know.
What's he doing?
He's making a bomb, is what I would think.
Right. We never see that play out ever.
No.
Like, that was on my. So I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I was trying to get that across while that shot was still going. Like,
Yeah.
we've never seen. Like, it looks like he's making a bomb,
Yeah.
but he never uses a bomb. He just spray paints it.
That's because he dies before he can use it.
He dies. What are you talking about?
If I was him, I mean, you would think he'd use it here, but no, like it never comes back to that.
We're talking about him, right?
Yeah,
Doesn't he die?
He dies later.
but way later in the movie.
Yeah.
So you're saying maybe he had it made for much later and then got blown up by Luthor.
Maybe. Sure. Why not?
But in that same scene, there was a newspaper heading, and the newspaper heading, Superman stops earthquake shifting the tectonic plates, which is a huge callback to Superman the movie. I noticed that for the first time 2 days ago.
Oh yeah.
And I loved that because it's like on his wall is a montage of all these great Superman heroics. It's so cool.
I don't think I ever caught that before. Thank you for pointing that out.
Yeah. One of these days, I will hit pause on that scene, and I'll take notes of every Superman article that's there, and I'll have to do a video on that or something.
That's a good idea. All right, Aaron says, felt like they didn't flush out the script before filming, and Eisenberg might be the worst miscast character ever. He's a good actor, but not right for this role. Oh, Aaron.
I can definitely see though. Like, I understand that because he's not like the classic, businessman type guy.
That's why I like about him. I don't know, Aaron. I'm a huge fan of this Lex Luthor. I love everything about it. Like I think Jesse Eisenberg is perfect. Now I will admit, his little noises can get a little exhausting, but
it's better than whatever Joker does in Suicide Squad, though. Randomly purring.
Yes, well, anything is better than Suicide Squad.
A Suicide Squad. Okay, let's be fair, guys. Suicide Squad's not terrible.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
It's awful. It's like an edited.
It's really bad. It's not that good.
And I put Suicide Squad.
If you're about to say above Justice League, that means nothing.
Okay.
I rank the theatrical Justice League above Suicide Squad.
No, I wouldn't do that.
I think they're both. See, I disagree with that. Well, no, I don't.
Well, it's okay because I'm about to eliminate the theatrical cut off my ranking after tonight.
Well, I'm
a reporter.
I don't know. I think Suicide Squad is a good grounding to build something on, and I'm sure the Air Cut has a better grounding to build something on.
Yeah,
but like it's not something I'll like. It's one of those things. If I see it on TV, I might like keep it on while I'm doing the laundry or something, Yeah. But I won't do that with Justice League.
Yeah, I see. I don't like Suicide Squad. I think it's a pretty bad movie, but I can watch it. Like, it's not like unbearable or anything. But Justice League, I can't stand Justice League. I truly realized that last time I watched it back in January. I was like, this movie is genuinely unbearable. Like, almost no redeeming qualities, but
now I know Bruce tells this guy how to beat the other dude. I just want to know what Bruce said.
I'll give you $1 million if you beat this guy up.
Yeah, so it wasn't a move; it was money. For $1 million, yeah, he's gone.
Yeah, it's always money.
I love how money gets Bruce Wayne a cell phone that clones another phone that fast.
Good luck for one is always his brother's misfortune.
Yeah, I really liked that part of the Nolan series, how they explain, how they used Lucius Fox, that explanation where he gets this tech from.
It's like
but that's also another thing that, I mean, on the other side of that, it's also a thing that I really like about this Batman is this Batman brings back the mystery of Batman. We don't know how he glides with his cape. We don't know how he's getting his tech. We don't know how they built,
this. Poor people don't buy papers.
An entrance into the Batcave through a lake without anybody noticing. We don't know these things. But it's I like Batman being mystery. And I think we've got our fair share of explaining how Batman could do things. I want to put Batman back in the mystery realm. That's what I think this does.
You shoot people with
that was actually the cool thing about the Tim Burton Batman movies because the first Batman movie in '89 was an origin story, but it also wasn't. We saw his starts, but we didn't see how he started, so we got to stay in that mystery, which is kind of cool. Except, he couldn't turn his head, but
the ass blows.
Yeah.
Flight to DC tonight. Couple of days there.
Go.
Lawrence Fishburne does such a great Barry White.
Oh, he double dipped, so he's DC and Marvel now.
Coach.
Yeah.
Yeah, but nobody remembers him in Ant-Man.
It's true. He did a good job in Ant-Man, but you're right. That's not what you remember when you watch Ant-Man.
The dangerous.
No. And you don't remember Ant-Man 2 when you think of Ant-Man either.
That is true. there's things I like about Ant-Man and the Wasp. I don't hate it, but I agree. If I think Ant-Man, my mind automatically goes to the first one.
Right.
So I do love Agent Jimmy Woo. He's awesome.
Nerds.
See that right there? No, not some charity crone that has a thing for nerds. That to me, that's Perry White helping Clark Kent be in disguise. That's what I think Perry White does in this movie.
To those who joined us, Steve and I have a theory that Perry White, throughout this whole thing, knows Clark Kent is Superman.
Oh yeah, it's not a theory; it's fact.
I agree with you, and I hope that actually Justice League, the Snyder cut, will show us that Perry knows and will help Clark, cover up the fact that he and Superman were gone and came back at the same time.
Well, I hope Perry's in it. We have yet to even hear about him being in it.
Yeah,
I hope he is.
True.
Maybe a quick cameo.
The thing that kind of solidifies, like nail in the coffin, for lack of a better term, that Perry White knows that Clark Kent is Superman, is at the very end of this movie when he's reading the newspaper and it says Superman's dead on the front, and then he immediately turns to Clark Kent's obituary.
Hello, the Game Commander. We are at 4137 of the Ultimate Edition. If you want to join us.
40 minutes into this thing?
Yes, for 40 minutes into this thing.
Wow.
You and your hearings.
I agree with you, Aaron Anderson. He does feel like the Riddler. So even if I can accept this performance and accept it for what it is,
yeah,
I have to agree with you. He has more of a Riddler vibe than a Lex Luthor vibe. Way more.
I do concur with that. That makes a lot of sense because. But I don't know. I think that adds to the eeriness of Lex. I love Lex being eerie.
Yeah, I think what breaks the air of eerie for me is when he's trying to give that speech at the stupid book fair. I hate that. I hate it so much.
At the what fair?
The book thing. The event that Clark and Bruce go to. When he's giving his speech, it's painful.
That is one of my favorite parts of this movie.
Well,
oh man!
As soon as you started saying that, I knew that he was going to have something to say about that.
Yeah,
he
that's
that part.
I love that speech. That speech right there embodies exactly who Lex Luthor is. Like
some of the lines do, especially when he talks about having knowledge without power and how that's a paradox, because that is the Lex Luthor thing. Like he hates having all of his knowledge without power, but I don't like any of that delivery.
But his social anxiety, or his social awkwardness, rather, is what really shines through there. Yeah. And that's to me, that's that side of Lex that I really like. Okay, so this scene here, when Bruce Wayne is visiting his mother's grave, is this a dream? Yeah, this is a dream sequence because that man bat show up. This is something I think they should have honed on more throughout the movie. Is his connection with his mother, because they do it here and there, but I don't think they did it deep enough. I think if they did that deeper, just a little bit more, like his emotional, I don't know, discernment with his mother dying, that Martha bit would have worked well with the audience.
I think the other thing that would have helped the Martha bit is when he looks at Robin's suit. If we got a flashback to the death of that Robin. And maybe some of the things, the way Joker tortured Robin is what Batman does to torture Superman. So when he has that Martha moment, it's a moment of realizing, oh, I've become the monster. But I don't mind the Martha moment, but the way it plays out, it is kind of ridiculous. But I feel like I understand what they're going for. And so it doesn't hit me that bad, but I get it.
All right, so the game commander asks, out of all the Lex Luthors, who played him the best? We've had this debate like 3 times since this movie started, and it all comes out.
Michael Rosenbaum.
Well, that's Durban's is Michael Rosenbaum. Mine is Jesse Eisenberg. Seth?
Mine is also Jesse Eisenberg.
Yeah.
But I'll, since
you need to watch Smallville, Seth.
That's what I was going to say.
Aaron, if you want to join 4452, go on.
That's what I say. I'd like to throw it out there that I have not seen Smallville, so that's why I'm not saying Michael Rosenbaum.
And
he really is as good as you say.
And I've never seen Smallville.
Yeah.
There you go.
And the great thing about Smallville while we're watching Batman vs Superman is Lex Luthor starts really good, and you want him to be a good guy in season 1. But just as you see Clark overcoming his issues and kind of rising up into the light, you see Lex Luthor descending into darkness. And what makes Michael Rosenbaum's performance so much greater is the fact he's only in 7 seasons. He's not in the final 3. But through those 7 seasons, you see him fall. And Michael Rosenbaum's subtlety as each season progresses is incredible.
Bruce Wayne can't break into Lex Luthor's house.
Well, to be fair, since I've never seen Smallville, my pickings of Lex Luthor are very slim.
And I agree with you. Yeah.
Gene Hackman was I know, Aaron. I haven't seen Smallville. Aaron,
we needed the flashback right here with the Robin suit.
Yeah, I get that. But Gene Hackman was god awful. Like I still don't understand how people are like, that's my Lex Luthor. Like, what the fuck are you talking about, man? But like, and then we have Superman Returns. You have Kevin Spacey kind of doing what I called in my review a much better version of what Gene Hackman was supposed to be.
Yeah.
But those, cinematically speaking, those are the only 2. That's it.
Yeah. And with your sampling, Steve, I'd probably be with you. Like if I didn't have Smallville, and I've watched the New Adventures of Superman, Lois and Clark back in the day. I would probably be between actually Kevin Spacey and Jesse Eisenberg. Like I would probably be between them.
I think for your classic, what we know Lex Luthor to be, cinematically speaking, I think Kevin Spacey did the best.
Yeah.
But when it comes to just all around, just new take on things, Jesse Eisenberg. That's why Jesse Eisenberg works. That's why this movie works for me as like one of my favorite movies of all time, is because it's just a fresh look at something I've seen regurgitated over and over and over again.
Yeah.
And
you know what? I agree. And I think the most unique thing about this movie is it is nothing regurgitated. This is new territory for live action and new interpretations.
That's right. Must be.
Yeah, John Shea, Lois and Clark, New Adventures of Superman. He wasn't bad.
No, but that show was kind of hokey. So for me, it's hard to rank things in that because to me, that's just a goofy, fun thing that you watch on the side, and that's kind of where I am on that one.
It's funny because when DC Universe came out, the streaming service before HBO Max, I binged all of the Lois and Clark episodes, and I freaking loved it. And I was telling Seth, I was like, Seth, you got to watch this with me. This show is absolutely it's great for what it is. It's like got the heart of Spider-Man, but it's Superman. Like it's right there, and and you get to see the best parts of Superman, trying to hide his 2 identities, and all this stuff. And then I showed Seth the first episode. What was it? Season 3?
Yes.
First episode of season 3, and it was the worst freaking thing I'd ever seen, and it just went downhill from there. And I'm like, oh man.
Yeah, I remember. I came over and you were telling me about that. You were like, oh yeah, it's a great show. It's fun. And first episode we watched is him refusing to use his powers while on vacation in the middle of nowhere.
Also known as
I remember that.
And I'm
Now, do you think when Lex Luthor in his speech was talking about Zeus going pew with the lightning, do you think Wonder Woman was like, you don't know my dad, shut up?
Is having knowledge.
I think that may have been Lex's way of saying,
paradoxical.
I do know, and I do know it's your dad.
Now, something I want to see? I kind of like the mystery right now, but it kind of shows how smart he is that he knew Batman's identity, because, Batman's got that under lock and key. He figured out Superman, and then he figured out Wonder Woman. So it's like,
he's the smartest man in the room.
No, I totally get that, and I believe that, even though some of his character traits drive me nuts. But I like that. I kind of wish, I don't know, I wish there was some way we could see what was his detective work?
What's
Like,
your
how
position
did he
of that?
figure that out? Especially Batman. You
But
know,
that's
Bruce keeps that.
that's the mystery of it. That's what makes it his superpower. You know, that's like his superpower, and that's the fact that we don't know how he put all these pieces together. And again, yes, there's suspension of disbelief of how he actually managed to hash out the details. But you know, you'll have that with any movie. But like, that's what I love about. I mean, I think that might even just be a Lex Luthor thing, not necessarily this Lex Luthor, but I think it's really panned out well with this Lex Luthor. So,
Aaron Anderson says, "I'm looking forward to seeing the Paul Dano interpretation of the Riddler. I'm looking forward to every interpretation in that movie."
That movie is. I'm glad it's under wraps. I'm glad like not too much is leaked. I'm glad that
Gotham City and me.
It's going to be somewhere to go in the DC world.
Yes,
boys.
I hope you know this Snyderverse. I hope this actually.
I love bringing people together. How are we?
Sorry, go on. Say what you're saying. I'm sorry.
You hear that, Seth? That's, Durban, out of all people, doesn't like colorful people. Durban, who is one of the most, you know, exaggerated, you know what I'm saying? Like he always uses his hands. He's very expressive. Has a problem with this Lex Luthor. Imagine that.
See, here's the thing. I'm like her too. You always see me waving my hands around in videos and stuff.
Yeah, but you don't know Durban, man. Durban's naturally. I know when Durban's excited, he bounces. And like, this is a true story. If for those of you who don't know, I've known Durban for 20 years, right? And he literally bounces when he's excited. He'll bounce on a chair and be like, "Hi, all right, guys, cool, let's do this." Like, he's like a ball of freaking energy.
Do you remember when we were about?
Yeah, Clancy Brown does.
We were about to see Justice League. We were just about to see Justice League in theaters for the first time, and we were having lunch, and I was literally sitting there like this, you know, because back then, I still like Batman v Superman as much as I do now. It was one of my favorite movies in general. So I'm like, yes, I can't wait to see the sequel for this.
Excuse me.
See that.
And then we got majorly disappointed.
Yep.
Yeah, Aaron White, I love Clancy Brown. He did a great voice in the animated series. The Superman the animated series is fantastic, by the way.
I never really got into that. I was more into Batman.
It's got a story and a theme that continues through the whole season. It's very good how they tell the Superman story.
They're putting the animated series, Superman the animated series, on HBO Max
I think it's there
tomorrow.
today, actually. I think it came one day before Snyder Cut. I could be wrong, though.
It might be. I know they put Batman up there a few months ago.
Oh, yeah. I've been going through it slowly. Season 1 has like 60 freaking episodes.
Yeah, but Clancy Brown's just awesome all around.
Yes, he is.
He does what?
He's in a lot of roles.
Yeah, he does. He does Mr. Krabs and SpongeBob.
He was in Ragnarok.
He played the fire guy in Thor Ragnarok.
His name's Surtur? His name?
Yeah.
I never connected that was Clancy Brown the whole way through all that. That's awesome.
He was also in Daredevil.
It's a crowd. Yeah. He's in Daredevil, Punisher. He's also in Shawshank Redemption. He's the guard in Shawshank Redemption.
Higher power in every religion.
He's in a lot of stuff.
In some sort of messianic figure.
Aaron
when
White
this
says, love like saying, don't get into a fight with this guy.
Abide by
Bruce Clark foreshadowing. Again, this is like knowing, right? And he's just
Yeah, that's it. He's just having fun. See, I love this shot right here.
This is a great shot. I love this montage. This is a montage that makes Superman like on the level of Greek mythology. I love it.
Yes, exactly.
Should be a figure of controversy.
But I am wondering
engaging
what all those people are doing on that ship on its side and why he didn't flip it back up. Just throw that out.
I mean, it could have been really damaged. They didn't really show us that, so maybe that's like the best he could do as he's dragging it through a glacier. I'm not sure, but yeah.
Couldn't just pick it up and take it somewhere? It looked like
Wood burn. Look at that guy.
Maybe he's not some sort of devil or Jesus character. Maybe he's just a guy trying to do the right thing.
We're talking about
epic shot
whose very existence challenges our own sense of priority in the universe. And you go back to
the episode Grey Ghost. Batman the Animated Series, favorite episode, Grey Ghost.
Aaron White. If I remembered which one that was.
We're not
I do notice he has Superman Returns Superman on as a profile picture. I to me, Superman Returns.
There he
What
is.
did it make
And
on my
alien
ranking? I think it was
among
like
us.
2 or 3.
We're not
Probably,
alone.
I would guess 2, because
Are you-
well, no,
It
'cause you had
beat out-
BBS on your ranking as well.
Right.
Didn't you?
Yeah. So it was
probably
3. It beat out all the
Superman could have saved
all the
your
Christopher Reeves
child, but on
Reeves
principle,
Superman movies.
we
Yeah.
did not.
See, I wouldn't go that far, but
Not
Superman
Well,
Returns kind of
to
on
me-
its own is fun. But as a sequel to Christopher Reeve, I don't know where to place it. It makes no sense, especially since Christopher
doesn't.
Reeve is in the 70s and now they have cell phones in Superman Returns.
Yeah. All that aside, I think Superman Returns was a much better made movie of what they were trying to do. I think in the Christopher Reeve Superman, you have Christopher Reeve giving his 100% the entire time, while the other characters just kind of dope around. This Superman Returns brings everybody back to like a similar level when it comes to how they interact with each other in the movie. It's not just Lex and his dopey partner, or or Richard Pryor, slipping into some trouble here. No, like it's real stakes, it's real problems. It's and
what do I need to travel for?
And what Brandon Ruth, whatever his name is, when he played Superman, he wasn't as Christopher Reeve as Christopher Reeve. Obviously, Christopher Reeve was the best, but the fact that he brought that role down a peg really balanced out the characters for me. It wasn't so lean towards Superman the whole time. That's personally me. This whole scene, by the way, was not in the theatrical.
How did it get
Yeah.
cut?
She was cut.
She was not even in the movie. She was not even in the theatrical cut.
No, none of her stuff, which explains why Superman didn't see the bomb. I like that Luthor's getting in Superman's head and causing him to doubt himself. I think that's clever. But this scene helps us see that Superman is good. And like this whole stuff with her, and it's just irritating. They cut it all.
What I forget what she is credited as, but isn't that supposed to be Barbara Gordon? Isn't that what that
thought it was Barbara Gordon?
Theorized?
I have no idea.
But I think she was. People thought she was going to be Barbara. But
Yeah.
I don't think she did.
Oh, okay.
Barbara Gordon.
Now, was this? I don't think this research was even in the theatrical cut. I think it. I think it cut straight to the other guy getting bailed out of jail, and we didn't even get this moment to show him being transferred to Metropolis.
Man, you know what to do to people with this on them? He's on you.
Let's go.
Hakuna Matata.
You made bail. Open two.
All right, Aaron White. Batman Returns to Batman Forever. Everything changed, but still same continuity.
Yeah, it's the same problems they had back in those days. Oh, okay. Let me answer you, Alan. We are at 58-14.
Yep.
You see, here's what I'm wondering though, is because they are doing the the Batman '89 comic run.
Do you want?
Yeah.
I'm wondering, what are they going to do there? Does that take place after Returns? Maybe they'll throw it in between. Maybe it'll take place in between Batman Returns, or do you think they'll remove that movie? Will officially remove Batman Forever and Batman and Robin
I
from
think
canon?
they'll remove him. I think he's going.
Yeah, I think
well,
it'll
it'll stay
sure.
canon because of cinematic things, but I think it'll be kind of an alternate timeline that ignores Batman Forever and will go his vision from that time forward. Tim Burton had a plan for that third Batman.
The people writing the comic are the same people who wrote the movies.
I think
So
so.
I think that's interesting that they're doing that.
So it makes
And
me even more
wait,
upset.
they will definitely have Billy D. Williams as Two-Face. I can almost guarantee it.
That's what a missed opportunity to have Billy D. Williams as Two-Face. Just honestly, the cultural aspect of that, like how they could have played that Two-Face. I wish we could have seen that pan out.
I
Billy D.
think the
Williams.
theatrical cut even removed the scene where you saw the Russian dude paying this dude to kill this guy.
All right.
I think I'd have to go back and double check, but
I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised. You know what? Theatrical cut
doesn't exist.
It doesn't exist in my world. Like I told you before we went live, I had to change the name of this video.
Yes.
Uh-oh. Our movie paused.
Oh, your movie paused? Okay. Should I pause mine?
No.
Just
All right. I'm at 1 hour, 13 seconds. 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20.
Hold on.
Let me know when you're ready. I'll time
Dude,
in.
we have such good Wi-Fi here. I've never had Wi-Fi problems until today.
It's because it's Justice League Eve.
Yeah, but I'm on Vudu. Like, I'm not on HBO Max. I don't know.
I don't see this being a reality, but I would really like if they did somehow incorporate just maybe.
I'm at 1 hour, 54 minutes, Steve. 54 minutes. 1 hour, 54 seconds. Gosh.
If they somehow brought in Billy D. Williams to play Two-Face in The Flash, just for like if it was him in a prison cell, like
a beautiful lie.
I think that would be really cool.
What are you at, Durbin? 1 hour what?
1 hour, 1 minute, 13 seconds. 14 seconds. 17 seconds. 18 seconds.
Perfect.
It was founded. It's
I held it on 18 seconds and waited for you to get there.
1938, but it's not 1948.
All right, so everybody that's watching, are you all caught up on the same timestamp right now? Give me a thumbs up in the comments if you are.
Nobody cares about Clark.
Durbin,
Kent
you're my
taking on
hero.
Batman.
I try to be a hero. I do. I
Durbin's
want to be
this live stream. This is what our second or first. This is our first or second live stream.
This is my first live stream.
It's your first, yeah.
I think it's
Steve and I've done live streams before. We did a podcast live before.
Yeah,
I think it's Film Trigger in general. I think it's second. But this is the first time I've ever been on here live.
What is going on back here? Guys, come on, let's go. Get yourselves together and get out there.
I do love this is the introduction to Wonder Woman. Here's what I wish. They did not show in the trailers that Wonder Woman was in this movie. I wish they kept that under wraps because I was watching this with my brother-in-law who missed all the trailers, and he thought maybe she was Catwoman until all of a sudden she showed up as Wonder Woman, or they did the reveal. And I'm like, man, what a missed opportunity, this stupid marketing department.
Yeah, there's a couple things in here I wish they kept secret.
It's the culmination of 4
Doomsday,
years.
especially. That would have been such a cool
believe it, but I finally.
All right, Mert Utzguler. I'm not sure. I'm sure I murdered that name. I think BVS
the blade
Ultimate Edition is an underrated gem and will be loved even more in the future. I 100% agree with that statement. Like I've said this a few times, and I always say it, but when we first watched Batman v Superman, I told Seth, this is before we even had a channel, that people aren't going to understand this movie until a few movies down the road. And unfortunately, it's taken us 5 years to get the second movie to this, the true second movie to this, the sequel to this.
I'm still hoping. There's a chance this could happen. I'm hoping that people watching Zack Snyder's Justice League, it'll explain maybe some more things they didn't like from BVS.
Yes.
Maybe that'll make them like BVS more.
Well, yeah,
I'm hoping that's the case.
I compare this. I can like WandaVision. You had to get through the 3 first episodes of bull crap.
No, I didn't.
Yeah.
Like I made it through the 3rd episode. I'm like, why do we not know what's going on yet?
Yeah.
And then 4th episode started answering questions. 5th, 6th, 7th. And now you go back and watch it, and now watching it, knowing that it was the narrative they were trying to take and the story they're trying to tell, now it makes sense.
Yeah.
Now it all ties in. And I think that's what's going to happen. I think BVS, Man of Steel, all this stuff's going to start getting more mainstream, popular, more just.
Born with no
it's going to make more sense to people once they see the full vision panned out and understand that it's not supposed to be a universe as much as a finite story.
You'll find it in the glove compartment of your
I
car.
agree.
Mr. Wayne?
Oh, Wonder Woman.
All right, Aaron White, have fun at work. I'm sure.
Oh, Aaron. Well, thank you for joining us, Aaron. It was a blast having you.
I appreciate it. I took work off tomorrow.
Yes, you did.
For the Snyder Cut. Like they had to find a replacement for me. Like my boss had to find somebody to replace me at my job site.
Nice.
My favorite scene in the whole movie.
Yes. Not only
know how did he drift into this? Because he was staring at the computer screen and then the screen went boom, and here we are. I love the scene. I'm just wondering, how did he transition?
Some things are just better left unknown, Durbin.
I guess so.
God, look at that.
The amount of
That is
chills
amazing.
I got the first time I saw Darkseid's logo down there.
I think this whole scene is really for DC fans. Like if you're not
yeah.
a DC fan, you'll get it in Justice League now that it's actually coming out. But if you are a DC fan, you see that Omega symbol, your heart melts.
Now there is theory that chick on the bus there was Carrie. Carrie, the new Robin,
Yeah,
the female Robin.
Oh yeah,
Carrie Kelly? Is that her name?
Yeah, Carrie. I think it's Carrie Kelly. I can't quite remember. And also the school buses. Remember what I used to tell you? I was like, I feel like Joker should be in the scene because of the school buses. School buses are a very Jokery thing.
And Batman has a Joker card on his gun.
Oh, he has a Joker card on his gun? I never noticed that. Are you shitting me?
Does? I'm looking for that right now. Show me Batman's gun.
It's there.
Turn the camera. Okay, pan down.
Well, if you
Maybe
had
if
it
we
in
had the IMAX
IMAX,
edition.
if you had the IMAX edition, you'd probably see it. Oh, Lantern 2814. Don't even need to timestamp. I know exactly where you guys are.
Yep.
But if you want one, 1 hour, 6 minutes, 22 seconds, 23 seconds, 24 seconds.
Oh, now he doesn't have his gun, of course.
Oh, yeah. The one thing the many things I love about this scene here is not just. Sorry, I get distracted watching this movie.
Such a good scene.
Just not how like it's so comic booky, but like this shot coming up right here, it's all one take.
It is.
Starting, I think when he screams no.
Yeah. It's an epic take. Like the choreography, the fighting, it's incredible.
Yeah.
I do love the Superman soldiers with the S on their arm.
Yeah, right here. From this moment on, it's all one shot until it's over, and I think that's absolutely amazing.
Yeah, no, that is it's pretty freaking awesome.
I even missed this Joker card. It's there though.
Yeah.
If you Google the designs, it's there.
I can't now really can't wait for Zack Snyder's Justice League because we got Joker in there, so now I can't wait to see how that works together.
I remember Kevin Smith. I can't exactly remember what he said. But I do remember him saying like he wasn't sure where the heart of this movie was, and then him rewatching it with Jason Mewes, and Jason Mewes is like, "Look, man, the parademons, the parademons." That's when Kevin Smith realized that the heart of this movie lied in true comic book fans. It lied in the heart of somebody who paid attention, to Batman lore in the comic books and stuff like that. I thought that was always a great observation.
Yeah, I do too. And that would be why this is so divisive too, because a lot of people maybe didn't catch that, but darker Superman. Whatever.
No, well, you're right. You're not wrong. I'll put it that way. Like that is why it's so divisive because people want, people think they want Justice League
until they get it.
Well, until they get the full vision of what Snyder's trying to accomplish with his finite story. When you get that finite story fully together, people are going to understand. Holy shit.
I'm looking forward to that. I really can't wait.
I'm excited to see more Nightmare. I think it'll be just as long, it may be a couple minutes longer than what we have here. I don't think it'll be much, but I am excited to see more of Nightmare.
Yeah,
with Joker, Deathstroke, Flash, Mara.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think it's definitely going to be
But you get that Batman took Lois from him? That's an interesting line to me.
Yeah, I think that might be more interpretive of how Bruce takes that situation.
Yeah.
Because Bruce seems like the type of person that I would assume that even him not being able to save somebody, he would take that as he murdered them.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yep, it does.
I love how in one of the TV spots, I think it was the Darkseid spot, you see Flash wearing that costume.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, you do.
That's awesome. I quit watching those because even though I know we got a 4-hour movie ahead of us, I just didn't want anything else alone.
See right here, you see the papers flying in the background, just like you see the pearl drop in the beginning.
I just want to know how that works. So I really hope we get into something like that in the next movie.
It's a blurry line between reality, different dimensions, time travel. It's I love that.
Yeah, it's true, and that's pretty artistic.
Oh, Seth, you want to know something kind of ironic? The computer monitor that Henry Cavill has on his desk there is the same monitor we're watching the movie on right now.
Serious? That's awesome.
It's that Samsung model.
So here's Luther provoking the righteousness of Superman, framing Batman, and then Luther framing Superman for all these kills to turn the world against him and Batman.
You know, I'm going to be honest. I think that's one thing this movie didn't quite need. I think
the white Portuguese is not a man.
I think Bruce Wayne and Clark Kent were doing just fine on their way hating each other without the little notes, without the sending the pictures of the dude, or you let your family die or whatever.
Yep.
I think there's
the white Portuguese isn't
not only the fact that I think they were well on their way to hating each other to begin with, but the fact that they don't question where these mysterious things come from,
capable of weakening
or why they're being sent to them.
The first cycle big enough to mean something.
Just a little thing I've always noticed.
It is now aboard the white Portuguese being delivered to Lex Luthor. Oh, I'm going to steal it from him.
To keep it out of Luther's hands. To destroy it.
No. God, Jeremy Irons is so good.
Oh, I love Jeremy Irons. He's good in everything he does, I think, and he is incredible as Alfred. And I feel robbed that we're not going to get more. Well, till tonight, but
we're so used to saying that for the past 5 years, right?
I know. And we don't know the state of a Justice League 2. I'm leaning towards it's not going to happen, so that way, if it does, it's a happy surprise for me. But my goodness.
It's crazy to think about that we're only hours away from the Snyder Cut actually
20 years ago,
watching the Snyder Cut.
Yeah, our first video on Film Trigger had hashtag release the Snyder Cut blinking on the screen.
July of 2018.
Yeah.
And it's here, man. You got to get a new hashtag going.
Restore the Snyderverse.
Yeah, hashtag restore the Snyderverse.
My name is
I did see that. That would be awesome to get.
I'm trying to find out what happened to an inmate, a Santos.
I can't give out that information.
So, Durbin.
Yes.
When it comes to Henry Cavill's interpretation or Snyder's interpretation of Superman, what are your thoughts on how he's handled?
I think he's handled really good. I think they did a good job taking Superman, putting him into a modern, fearful, divided world. And how does he handle it? Man of Steel is all about him choosing our world versus Krypton. And then this movie is all about Luther turning the world he chose against him. And so to me, I like these deep cuts into Superman because this is early enough in his career. He's still finding his footing. So to me, it's a very interesting journey. And that's how I take it. It's a journey. He hasn't arrived yet. So I guess I'm not as mad. Like, I kind of wish he was a little bit brighter in this one. Like, he found his place. At the same time, I like Luther messing with his mind, the world turning against him, and how he has to figure out how to deal with that.
I think
I want to talk to you.
You said you wish he was a little brighter. I think that's what we're going to get in Justice League.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Where does he go?
Maybe not this Justice League, right? There's supposed to be a 5-movie arc, and so he's supposed to progressively get there.
Yeah, I think it's supposed to end with us getting that hopeful Superman.
That's what Smallville did. So I'm used to this journey. Smallville, all the way up through season 10, he's a little bit darker. He's a little bit angsty. He's fearful. He makes stupid, idiotic choices, but all of those choices mature him into the man he becomes. And then by the time you get towards the end of season 10, you really see him man up. And when you read the season 11 comic, he is the Superman we hope for. So for me, watching him do this journey in these movies isn't a big deal because I already did it in Smallville. I've seen this progression, and now I'm kind of excited to see it interpreted this way.
I wonder if the entire Snyderverse would have been more successful as a series.
I would guess.
Maybe, but I wouldn't want that. I like it as films.
I do too, but I'm hoping.
Now that they have HBO Max, what if they just pulled a Lord of the Rings, shot a bunch of films back to back, and then just kind of released them all together?
I feel like that's what they would do. If they decided they were going to make Justice League 2 and 3, they would probably film them back to back. Here's my question, though, is do you think they would be just as long as the Snyder Cut? Do you think they would release 2 more 4-hour-long movies? Or maybe
Why
3
not? Peter Jackson did it.
He did.
I mean, the scary thing is, if you think about it, Man of Steel's 2.5 hours. BVS, the Ultimate Edition, is 3 hours, and the new Snyder Cut is going to be 4 hours. It's progressively getting longer. So Justice League 2, by that reckoning, would be 4.5 hours.
But didn't Snyder have like a plan with that? He wanted like each sequel to be like 20 or 40 minutes longer than the previous.
I have no idea, but it does seem to be progressing in that pattern.
Yeah.
Let's say he sticks to that, or would stick to that. 40 minutes longer each movie. Justice League 3 would be over 5 hours.
Well, no, you would have to understand that Justice League, the Justice League that we're going to get, wouldn't have been this long.
I know. I'm
Some of
throwing
that
it out
been,
there as of now.
Okay,
like that's what
some of that
he
would
did
have been carried over. Oh, uh-oh.
Oh, boy.
Batman kills.
I know.
Batman kills.
You know what helped me out here with Batman Kills? I was rewatching Batman Returns on HBO Max, and there was this scene where he turned the Batmobile around and blasted fire on one of the Penguin cars.
Yeah. Blasted the guy on fire. No one gave a shit.
And I went, well, I guess if Mike Keaton's Batman could kill people so murderously and so painfully, maybe this is okay.
I know. When we would be like up late or something, maybe midnight, maybe even 1 in the morning, and be like, man, I really want to watch BVS, but it's 3 hours long. We'd usually start it here if we still like decided to watch it.
That's a little guilty pleasure. Yeah, you're right. We would. There was a time we watched BVS so much that we would be up late and say, hey, you want to watch BVS? No, not all of it. So we would start it about here.
This is a good starting point. Yeah. It's about half the movie. You know what I love about this scene? It's through all of this stuff. All of this extreme is to show you how strong the Batmobile is. So when Superman knees it and the whole thing breaks, you're like, son of a monkey's uncle.
And the music that's going on, like the whole Batman score here is just absolutely beautiful.
Oh, I love it.
But, like, especially when he sees Superman.
Yeah.
You hear that.
This is counterproductive. Is Batmobile doing that?
Orchestra.
Yeah. I mean, he could have lost his tracker with that move he just did with the Batmobile. He didn't, but he could have.
Well, he's Batman. He was so precise on the way he crashed into that fucking...
You know what? I'll go with that.
Well, just remember, whenever you have a question about Batman, the answer is always, because I'm Batman.
You know what? That's a good answer, though. I mean, I have the same thing for John Wick. How did he survive falling off that building? Because he's John Wick.
John Wick. Okay, this music that plays when he first sees Superman here. The acapella vocals are here.
I love it so much.
Boom. Yeah, he just slightly kneed your vehicle and almost destroyed it.
Yeah, a slight knee after all that we saw the Batmobile survive before this. Now, I love it. Even in the trailer when they showed this scene, I freaking love it when they stand toe-to-toe, face-to-face.
Well, you know, that's one of the reasons why Snyder chose Ben Affleck was because of his height. He wanted Batman to be physically towering over Superman.
Don't go to it.
You know, because
Barry.
Ben Affleck's like 6'4", 6".
He's pretty tall.
Tall. Yeah, he's I think Cavill's like, I don't have the exact numbers, but I know Ben Affleck's taller than Cavill. Let's see, Aaron, what's up, buddy? What are the chances of JP Joker meets RP Batman?
You will.
What's JP Joker and RP Batman?
That's what I want to know. What's JP Joker and RP Batman?
Joaquin Phoenix and Robert Pattinson.
Oh.
Okay.
I don't think so. I don't think we're going to do that. But that's Joaquin Phoenix's fault.
It is.
Well, not just that. I think we can take great solace in knowing that the multiverse exists and that Joker does exist somewhere, and he's just going to stay there. But he is out there somewhere in the multiverse, Aaron. But I don't think they'll. I don't know if I want them to meet. I don't know if would it make sense for them to meet?
I don't.
How old would Joaquin Phoenix Joker have to be?
Well, it's only about 10 years later, right? I mean, I think the Joaquin Phoenix Batman was mid-'80s, and the Batman is the mid-'90s, like 1999.
No,
it's confirmed to be modern day now.
No, it's modern day.
It was supposed to be the 90s.
Yeah. I remember seeing the HD. Now HD TV.
Yeah. Okay.
It's meant to,
it's
modern day. It was meant to be the 90s at one point. That was like the thing. It's a 90s Batman movie, but now it's modern day.
I love the music here too, as he's opening up and looking at the kryptonite. So good.
Yeah, and now look, boom. This is what kills Mercy right here. She looks in there. Lex Luthor knows she needs to die. Done.
I think Mercy is in Superman, the animated series, so for me, it's kind of sad to see her die. Okay, so that is Martian Manhunter. That's going to be revealed. And I want to know,
the desert, people die.
Why was he just hanging out in the war room when he could have suited up and joined the DC Trinity in the fight at the end?
I think that Superman is a murderer than to go with a rank.
I don't think he...
Because there's too much fire, and, that's his weakness?
Maybe.
How do we determine what?
I'm going to go with that.
Democracy, good as a conversation.
That's always been like the black cloud hanging over his reveal in Justice League.
To come to this hill of the people
spoiler alert, but we all know it's been
suffered.
revealed that he'll be Martian
The world
Manhunter.
needs
But
to know what happened in that desert.
why did he
And to know
not
what he stands for.
act in the previous two
How far will
films?
he take his power?
If I had to take a guess, it would
Does
just
he
be
act
from...
by our will?
I don't think they were planning on him being Martian Manhunter from the beginning. I don't think they were. It was a common fan theory, and it was one that made sense. So they're like, you know what?
They don't understand.
Why not?
Yeah.
That's
a good way to look.
Question. In the original Snyder cut that should have come out in 2017, would there have been a Martian Manhunter reveal, or is that tacked on?
Yes. No, that was actually supposed to be revealed because before Zack left the project, he said he had one more scene to shoot, and that was that scene.
Yeah,
that was the only scene he hadn't shot for his Justice League that was supposed to come out in 2017.
Gotcha. So that's one of the things he did in the reshoot.
Yes, and because that was to finish out what he wanted, then he added a few other things into the reshoot. But to me, Martian Manhunter, much like Wonder Woman, I've killed things from other worlds. I think Martian Manhunter is more of a, I don't know, I'll come out when the big threat shows up. And I don't know if I think if Superman or, Wonder Woman or Batman couldn't handle the situation, then he may have stepped up. But they did handle the situations, both of them. And I could also
Smallville had a very cool explanation for Martian Manhunter and where he is during all these times that Clark is in trouble and needs to use his powers. I won't spoil it for you guys, but they handle Martian Manhunter pretty darn good in Smallville.
I sometimes wonder if they made Justice League 2 and 3, what characters would they have brought in? Would they have brought in characters like Shazam? I feel like they would have kept Martian Manhunter. I feel like he would have definitely come back. But characters like Shazam, I feel like a few years ago that would have been maybe added into the plan. But now Shazam is like a kids movie basically. I don't know if they would bring in Shazam.
I think if they would have brought in other people from the extended universe, it would have been because Warner Brothers made it a thing. They told Zack Snyder, you need to make room for these characters so we can sell these other movie tickets. But if you were just to get Zack Snyder's actual vision, I would assume that probably not. You would get this finite story that's not supposed to have spin-offs.
Happen to like my job.
Yeah.
That's my thought.
Makes sense. You said that the ambush was arranged to frame Superman, but how could they know that he'd show up in the...
I don't know. I'm curious. I feel like now they would bring in Black Canary, fan favorite. It would make sense if they brought in Black Canary if they were to continue Snyderverse.
And she didn't have a bad portrayal in the Harley Quinn movie.
Underway in any minute now, and of course the big
Yeah, Aaron, it would make sense.
Will Superman show up? That
like
is what they're
if
really waiting to see. Mr. Keith,
going back to
Soledad
the
O'Brien
Joaquin
in the
Phoenix
moment.
and
Quick question.
Robert
You're
Pattinson
heading in to
Batman
meet with the
meeting
senators.
up.
What will you tell them?
It would make sense if Pattinson was
Wake up.
in the
This is
90s.
flesh and blood.
Right.
If the timeline added up.
War here.
But now, like, it's, I mean,
with it being like a
Joaquin
40-year
Phoenix
difference
is,
now, like
yeah, like
There are plenty of
40
people,
year.
sir,
Come
who
on,
would
man.
say
How old's your
he's
father?
their hero.
Almost 40, but still. The point is, yeah, almost 40-year difference. And Joaquin Phoenix is obviously in his 40s in that one. He like, you'd have to play him off in his 70s, you know, like just timeline, Aaron. It just
Batman, I would take you down.
You're wrong. Luther will send the paper out of existence.
I would like to. This random Joker fun fact. I've never thought about this before, or before the first time I heard it.
I am not.
Jared Leto is the first live-action Joker to play Joker in more than one movie.
That is true. He really is.
Jared Leto is the first Joker to play Joker in more than one movie.
Oh, yeah.
In live action.
Imagine
no other
that.
Joker. Now you could make an argument, Cesar Romero, but that was TV show in one movie. It's still only one movie.
You know what? Mercy,
But
you go
you never
in
saw
and
Jack
make
Nicholson,
no
Heath Ledger.
So this was cut out.
I'm just here to tell my story.
Well, the scene before this was
Oh no, the shot when she was talking to the other dude,
Yeah.
you know, saying, "Oh, he's behind the whole thing. He set up all, you know, the killing of the parents, or her parents are still alive and well."
He
Yeah.
is, Mr. Wayne. I'm just checking
With the ending of the movie, it makes sense to me even more now why the world was mourning Superman's death after being afraid of him, because his name was cleared, and then he laid down his life for them, even though they all hated him. So I can understand that a lot better watching it again. It's like, that's right. Lois would have published her story, her proof, her finding.
There he is. Superman is here.
All right, one of my biggest pet peeves in this entire fucking movie.
This is really an historic moment that we expect.
When Superman comes down to the ground from over the Capitol building, his cape does not follow
He's here. He came.
physics
He's above the Capitol.
as we know it. His cape does not flow up in the air, and it does in other scenes. But in this scene, it does not. It stays like near his side. It's so weird looking.
It's like power can be Doctor Strange cape, you know, just kind of having its own reaction to things.
Well, it's definitely strange. I'll give you that. Of course, I bring that up like 5 minutes.
This was cut
ago.
too. Like the fact that this guy throws her into a train. It's like, come on. Why did they cut this stuff? The stuff that is so dang crucial.
Well, because people don't want to sit through a 3-hour movie, and we're here to make money. Damn it!
I'm here to sit through a 3-hour superhero movie. I mean, my gosh, they put Endgame out at 3 hours, and everybody loved it.
Right. Well, let's look at it this way. We're sitting here watching a 3-hour movie in preparation for a 4-hour movie. So yeah.
I am so excited. Here it is. Steve's
Right.
moment.
Look at that cape.
Yeah, it doesn't really obey.
No, it doesn't. Now, another thing I have an issue with is Lois Lane not being in that courtroom.
That is odd.
She's like a key witness to that entire situation.
Good point. She is. They would have had her in that courtroom. Oh my gosh, I never thought of that.
Now, I love how powerful they made Superman look in this scene, because he's doing human things. He's going to court. He gently opens the door, but he looks so big here.
He really does.
Henry Cavill.
That suit looks really good here.
And somehow he got bigger for The Witcher. Like, he was freaking huge in that show.
I love this. Just how gentle he is.
Yep.
That's a common theme. That was in Man of Steel also. When Jonathan Kent went out to talk to Clark, he gently opened the door to go out and talk to Clark. There's a door opening
This is how a democracy
shots
works.
I've noticed that are parallel
We
with these
talk
movies.
to each other. We act by the consent of the governed, sir.
Sir.
See, she has to talk with that tone. But the reality is she's going to defend Superman here because the evidence has come to light.
Neither will lies. Because today is a day for truth. Because only by speaking...
Now, do you think she smelled the pee and that's why she turned to look at that, and now she's like, "Wait, what?"
I think so. I'm more confused about how that got there, but that's very Lex Luthor. It just
well, it's what you're saying earlier. How did he figure out everybody's identities? It's the mystery.
It's the mystery. I know. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, she knows what's going to happen now. Poor girl. Poor Mercy.
Or maybe Mercy doesn't know what's going to happen, and that's what's confusing her. She's like, I always know what happens. What the hell is she reacting to?
Uh-oh.
I love how we're all silent.
I know. The breath, the deep breath before the plunge.
Now, Lantern 2814 was in here in this chat earlier, and I was on one of his live streams yesterday, just talking in his comments, and I said, the guy he had on was talking about how he wished that Superman had a moment that like Batman had at the beginning of the movie, when you see his parents being killed. And I said, Superman his mythology is happening during this movie.
Yes.
Batman's mythology is what's haunting him.
Yes.
So in that retrospect, that scene right there in the courtroom is that scene for Superman. It's that falling down the well.
That makes a lot of sense. And I like what I like
No,
about
I'm
it.
very proud about how smart I sounded.
Yeah, you sounded really smart. And I'm about to try to sound as smart so I can try to keep up with you.
Well,
but
good luck.
I love how the Ultimate Edition really shows him trying to help and make up for it, but at the same time, you can see the doubt getting in his head. Why didn't I see it? Like, he didn't realize that wheelchair had lead. And thankfully, in the Ultimate Edition, that gets
They showed that, as opposed to theatrical, where they just showed him just leaving the scene of the crime. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's just like, wait, did he just let it happen? Because he's so tired of humans, and you gotta sit with that. But this movie's like, no, he wasn't tired of people. He genuinely didn't see it. And Luthor is playing mind games with him and getting into his head.
I remember specifically being very confused when we saw this in theaters of why Superman would just leave. Like, I was like, why did he just leave? That makes no sense at all.
And then later, even in the Ultimate Edition, a reporter says initially Superman was bringing people out, and it's like, gosh, why did they edit out what they edited out?
Could you imagine being Zack Snyder and like having to trim that out? He had to sit there and just be like, this isn't going to make sense to anybody. This isn't going to make sense. But Warner Brothers is tying his hands together and telling him to clap.
Yep. And I think Warner Brothers realized it because if you remember, right after this movie came out, they released that scene where Luthor was doing that communion with Steppenwolf. And so they released that on YouTube like same weekend as opening weekend. So I think they were hearing that. And so they released one of their deleted scenes to be like, okay, here you go.
First responders are at the scene. They are still bringing victims out. Now, initially, Superman was helping bring victims out after the blast, but he seems to have disappeared, raising questions. Harry Birmingham reporting live from the nation's capital.
Now, police are now confirming that the blast was caused by explosive devices.
Oh, Alfred. Like, what's going through his head right there? I love this.
He knows what's going through his head.
But I love here on the security camera what we get in this edition. I love it.
What happens on that security camera? If you want to know what happens on that security camera in this scene, go play all the Arkham games.
Yes. And I think that every time I see it, it's like, oh, that is the Batman I've been waiting to see in live action.
Yeah, that's what happens there.
There's so much stuff, Batman stuff in this movie.
So awesome.
Of the Arkham games. Especially the warehouse. But the Batmobile scene from earlier, that reminds me of night.
And the Batmobile design kind of reminds me of the 1989 Batman design. Just maybe a little bit different, obviously, but it has the same kind of quality to it.
I would say the only quality that it has is that the back seems bigger. Like
Yeah,
it,
probably.
like it's wide in the back and narrows to the front.
Yeah.
But what do you think about the new Batmobile for the Batman?
I think it looks cool in that trailer, but I will reserve a true opinion until I actually see it in action.
Yeah,
I can't wait for the Batman. It
I
looks
can't either.
good. Like
I didn't see
everything
it, though.
about it looks so good to
Standing
me.
right
Like,
there, and I didn't see it.
I hope the behind-the-scenes drama is just
I'm afraid I
rumors,
didn't see it
not
because I wasn't
reality.
there's the rumors of them like quitting
all
filming.
this time.
That's not true.
There's behind the
Living
scenes
my
drama.
life the way my phone
All
is.
kinds, like Matt Reeves and Robert Pattinson are at each other's throats. Robert Pattinson hates the amount of takes Matt Reeves wants. Like, there's all kinds of weird drama, and I'm hoping it's fake. Like, I don't think it's real. But
Superman was
Man, that went over my head. I didn't know any of that stuff.
They wrapped filming the other day, so
Yeah, they did.
That farmer's dream is all
I think
some
everything
people have.
it's all right.
It's all that gives them hope.
Hopefully, at least.
Superman's arc makes sense. It makes sense that he's not that hopeful Superman. You know, if you translate this into like getting a new position at a job, you're always going to be this
yeah.
doubtful about yourself. Okay, what happened to Stand Back?
Yeah, because he makes things float around him when he takes off. So, you know, you
What happened to Stand Back? I'm taking off a little bit further.
Yep.
Okay, this right here, I hate this concept.
Just the fingerprints were enough. Yeah.
Yeah, it just. At what point in time did we need fingerprints to get into this thing? Number one. Number two, isn't that what the key's for?
Yes, exactly.
I don't know. It doesn't sit with me well.
I can understand that because every time I see it, like, I don't hate it. Like, it's not a deal breaker for me, but I do wonder how is that enough? And how would Luther have figured out, put your hand in the gel with Kryptonian fingerprints and you're good?
Well, not just that, but why didn't we see that before? Like, why didn't we see, Henry Cavill put his hand up in gel? Okay, then I would accept it. Okay, it only accepts Kryptonian fingerprints. But this seemed like a very just odd thing. Like, I feel like we just could have gotten in without doing it.
But I think it's a way to try to explain why nobody has any science equipment set up in this room, maybe. But like you said, I don't know. We needed to see it before to have that established.
But again, the key,
Yes, I would.
The key could have helped
Very well.
introduce that.
Let's begin.
Yes, it could have.
Not figuring out to push the key in.
Contains knowledge.
I like these robots. I hope they stick around and.
They apparently do. I mean, it's in Justice League.
Yeah.
The robot, but it doesn't really play a role. It's just floating around.
That's right, Batman. You work out. The bigger your muscles are, the more you'll be able to punch Superman in the face. Yeah.
No,
you just work out.
Listen, Durbin, I see your argument there.
It's a bad joke. It's for his own endurance as he's doing what he's going to be doing.
He's working out to fucking carry that goddamn suit around. I think that's
good point. That suit would be heavy. Yeah. I like the technology in the Batcave. Look, you notice how scarred up he is all over the place?
Yeah, I think that's great.
I do too. But, earlier in the movie, he's sleeping with some girl, right? What did they think when they see him without a shirt on and, wrinkled up with scars all over the place?
He could say anything. Man.
Yeah, he could.
I was race car accident, racing in my, super expensive Lamborghini,
I don't like the superhero symbols on the files. I think that's a little too cheesy.
A little too on the nose. Yeah.
Yep. I don't think Luther would have had their superhero symbols on there, especially since there is no cyborg. And at this point, Wonder Woman doesn't have a name or a symbol. It's weird.
Yeah, it's one of those things. It's passable. I get it.
I do too, but
are we ever going to get long hair Barry? Like, are we ever going to see that? Because he's long hair in this movie.
I would assume so. I'd assume in the Snyder cut that we're getting that.
I don't know. I'm glad we didn't get it because I don't like long hair Barry. I don't like it. He looks weird.
He looks like one of those. He looks like one of those bummy musicians.
I mean, you see him in the Nightmare, like in that spot I was talking about earlier. He's there in the Nightmare scene. I would assume he has the long hair.
Why would
he might? I mean, that's years later though, when everybody's too depressed to cut their hair.
This is before. This is pre. Now, did you see the original photo that Zack Snyder wanted to use here?
I did. That was epic.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm glad they went with what they went with, but you know, for one little thing, that was awesome to see.
Acknowledging presence of genetic material.
This was a little reminiscent of Superman 4 to me, but done infinitely better.
General Zod of Kandor.
Superman.
There's something that I've always
remember when he made the Nuclear Man.
Oh yeah. No, I don't see that, Durbin. I disagree.
I can kind of understand that.
Thank you, Seth. I'm glad you.
Okay. Oh, okay. Now. It's okay.
You flew too close to the sun.
No, I disagree.
No, you can disagree because this is so infinitely better. It's hardly worth a comparison. I'm just saying, in the back of my mind, it echoes that. You know, Lex Luthor putting genetic material in a nuke and it going to the sun.
So hateful to sight and memory.
Right.
The desecration without name.
I'll give you genetic material, and that's it.
I said reminiscent, not the same. It triggers that memory of Superman 4 for me. How much better it could have been.
I've never connected those dots before, but I
Superman
guess
was aware
you're
of the
kind
threat
of
and did nothing,
onto
was he
something
then
when it
complicit in the
when you say-
capital tragedy.
Now this is what you're talking about. Perry White's concern for Kent missing the same time Superman is missing. Like he's got to know.
Was involved in the planning of
Yeah.
this attack. I mean, here's an
gotta
individual
know.
who has unlimited power. Yet he did
They're
not
wearing masks.
This shot right here, lighting the Superman on fire.
Yeah.
That's in Watchmen.
Oh yeah, I just watched Watchmen not too long ago.
Yeah, that's in the movie It's not Superman's symbol on the chest.
Yeah, exactly.
Right,
But yeah.
lighting a hero on fire like a puppet
It's
hanging
been a
from a
while
noose.
since I've watched Watchmen.
Yeah, it's
I
in
want to
Watchmen.
watch it, but it's just
It's so long.
It's so long. Like there's
I'm not that big a fan of it, honestly. It's okay. I'm not a big fan.
I like it. I'm not the biggest
Same
fan
for me.
of it, but when I do watch it, I'm in it for the whole thing, and I enjoy it.
I enjoyed the comic.
Ay,
I read
vamos
a
pasando.
decent bit of the comic.
It's
It's pretty good.
Now, one FBI official familiar with
What
this
also I
case
love about the Ultimate Edition is
a jackpot
Lois
of
Lane has
raw
a purpose in this movie, unlike the theatrical cut where they edited out her purpose. Like here, how she's going in and goes to the guy's house and all that stuff. Like that's not a theatrical cut.
Curious as to what she's going to be doing in the Snyder Cut.
Me too.
Actually, what I'm more curious about is what's Lex Luthor's role in the Snyder Cut. We know he's in it, but
And the
we haven't.
rumor that the escape scene is going to be there, where a Deathstroke comes in and breaks him out of prison.
I hope that's a scene. That sounds really cool. But
I heard
we
about
haven't-
that in 2017, though, that was something that was supposed to be there. So we'll see.
But I mean, we know Deathstroke's in the movie, but we have yet to actually see anything with Lex from the Snyder Cut.
Yeah.
Because we know the boat scene was a reshoot now, so
Yep. Yep, we do. We know so much of that movie was a reshoot now. And 5 minutes of it was Snyder's footage or something. It's crazy.
I believe the comparison is 1/8 of what we get released tomorrow was in Justice League.
Wow.
Which is still a substantial amount.
I mean that's 30 minutes, but
right, freckled throughout the whole thing.
yeah, that could be sprinkled anywhere. Like
He didn't know he was gonna die. He just bought groceries.
The wheelchair and the bullet from the desert were made from the same metal.
The desert, the hearings, everywhere Superman goes, Luthor wants stuff.
All right. So leaving out the fact that
and then alters it to reduce the
the
blast.
wheelchair was
What
lined
do you
with
mean?
lead, Why?
Inside
Why would
It
you
makes
want
no
that?
sense to leave that out.
Why would you cut that from the fucking movie? But I guess unless you're being forced to cut down the
I
time.
can see it.
I believe it was all just cutting down time.
Well, I mean, if you cut down the first scene that she's in, then you have to cut this one out because then why the hell is she even in the scene? Who's that chick?
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know.
I hope we get some explanation. How does he see ghosts?
Yeah, I don't like this scene. I'm not a fan of it. I don't understand. There's so many questions. Number one, what the hell is he stacking? What is he stacking rocks for?
We're gonna find out he's actually alive. That's just
like he's just
the
stuck
tornado
there.
just took him up there.
Say, son, I've been stacking rocks for 15 years.
I mean, I like the story he tells. It kind of conveys the point and message of what Superman is dealing with, right?
Right.
I don't understand it. Like, what is this? Is this a vision? Is this his imagination? Does Kal-El have an ability to see other dimensions? Like, give me an explanation.
Could have been 12.
A better explanation. Yeah, it's just like, and it's the same writer, the guy who wrote
managed to stop the water.
The Star Wars, the last Star Wars movie.
Oh
Right.
yeah, Terry.
Do you mean the last Star Wars movie, or the first last Star Wars movie, or the second last Star Wars movie?
Rise of Skywalker.
Rise of Skywalker.
Okay, got it.
Same writer who wrote that movie, and they have parallel scenes with the fathers coming back and having the conversations with, when Hans. It's so parallel, and like when I did my review for that movie, I didn't really realize that it was the same writer, and I'm like, why did they just rip off Batman v Superman? But now I get it. But
When I met your mother,
I'm like you guys. I don't understand exactly.
She gave me faith that there's goodness.
What's going on in this scene? Like, I can understand. Like, it'd be nice to if Kevin Costner's voice was like playing in his head.
Yeah, that would make more sense.
And I know what's important here is the fact that Martha gave Jonathan hope that there was good in the world. So Martha was his world. That's how we overcame the nightmares. And that's why we have that line at the end of this movie and that line in the nightmare scene. So it all connects. I just don't understand any of that.
The way it's presented it raises more questions than it answers.
You know you can't win this. It's suicide.
I'm older now than my father ever was.
That's a good line for Bruce Wayne.
This may be the only thing I do.
I understand that line.
20 years of
my father passed away when he was 28.
Nothing.
Oh wow!
It's like weeds. I'll pull one up, another grows in its place. This is about the future of the world.
What's that?
So I love this movie.
It's my legacy.
I love this scene. This scene is infinitely better than Clark talking to Ghost Dad.
Told me what Wayne Man was built on.
Railroad.
Ghost Dad?
Ghost Dad.
Ghost Dad.
I don't think Seth's ever seen Ghost Dad.
I have. It's been years. It's been a long time.
Skins.
The Bill Cosby movie?
Mm-hmm. You may as well say I've never seen it since it's been so long.
They were hunters.
I've seen it.
I kind of want to watch that movie. I'm not gonna lie.
The Ghost Dad and Batman vs Superman, they totally ripped off Smallville. Like Clark has a conversation with Ghost Dad in season 10.
Is that really such an original idea, though? Like, how many times has that happened in movies?
Oh, I'm sure it's not an original idea at all. I just wish something explained that moment between Clark and his father better, because it's crucial. The lines and the message conveyed is crucial. I just don't get how he's having this conversation.
Right, and you are
There is going to be a criminal.
the world's biggest Smallville fan, so you just have to go back to that every time.
I do, yes. But I can't help it. I compare it to Smallville.
I know. I want to watch it. I really do, but I'm like Seth. It's like it seems exhausting.
Oh, it's a commitment, but you're not doing a series on your channel, so you can just take your time. Now, where is Martha in relation to Gotham and Metropolis? Where is Smallville in relation to Gotham and Metropolis? Because I would think she's in Smallville. She got kidnapped, and it's the same night, and now she's in Metropolis or Gotham, tied up somewhere.
Well, according to this movie, they're probably all right next to each other.
Right. So Smallville is like out. So it is like the show Smallville, where Metropolis was a 45-minute drive.
And that makes sense. But that would make it in Kansas.
Yes. Well, that's how Smallville was. Metropolis was in Kansas, and in the first few seasons, it's 3 hours away. Then they realized that's too inconvenient, so they made it 45 minutes away.
Yeah, the whole Gotham Metropolis being across the bay from each other. All right.
I don't mind that. Where is freaking Martha Kent in relation to this that they got her there that fast?
Right. But like but that adds to to my like when I first realized that Gotham was right across the bay, I'm like, oh, that's convenient.
Yeah. I don't mind it. It's kind of interesting. If you're going to have a rivalry between Superman and Batman, why not have the janky Gotham City across the street from the City of Tomorrow, Metropolis?
Yeah. I don't know. I guess I always considered it just a convenient plot point.
Excuse me.
It is. But I didn't think it was a bad plot point, but it is convenient. Why do I feel like Lois Lane could have taken them?
I don't know, but now you got me thinking, where is Martha?
Yes! When I was watching it the other day, I was thinking that. Where is Martha at in relation to this? We know Smallville's in Kansas, but they do not tell you what state Metropolis or Gotham are in. However, okay, so all my problems with Lex Luthor do not exist in this scene. This is probably my single favorite scene in the movie when Superman and Lex Luthor face off. And the music behind it, the lines behind it, the theology Lex Luthor spouts, all of it. I enjoy this upcoming scene. I can't tell. Are you frozen again, Steve? Did your Wi-Fi crash? I think your Wi-Fi crashed. I thought it was getting quiet over there. Yep. Well, just us again. So for Steve, when he comes back on, we're 1 hour, 52 minutes, and 30 minutes in. So those of you watching now got my point there. So, and that's a good timestamp. I noticed we got some new people. We're at 1 hour, 52 minutes, and 40 seconds into this movie. So some of you new people joining us, what do you think of Batman vs. Superman? How excited are you for the Justice League Zack Snyder cut? Now, as convenient as it is that Superman kind of got his life figured out right at this moment, I really do like this shot. Not just this shot where he catches her, but I'm loving the moment when this shot right here, like as they're landing. Like, I don't know why. I just, for some reason, I love that kind of far away shot panning as they're landing. It's so cool. All right, everybody that's watching, my absolute favorite Lex Luthor scene is coming up. I love this so flippin' much. See, maybe it's because on my channel I do the theological analyses, but I love this theological breakdown, the problem of evil. But what this really boils down to is making Superman a genuine fraud. Because if he can get Superman to rip off Batman's head, that means Superman gave in to peer pressure. Superman did it. And it's not just Superman he's destroying, it's Superman's legacy. And then having Superman's mother like that. I mean, can you imagine like the fear? Those of you just joining, 1 hour, 54 minutes, 38 seconds on the Ultimate Edition. That's where we are. See, Luthor is projecting his issues with God onto Superman. Very much so right here. Oh, what have you done? See, again, so those of you joining, we are at 1 hour, 55 minutes, 20 seconds on the Ultimate Edition. It's just amazing how he figured out Bruce Wayne was Batman and then knew how to push him. To Steve's point, it is interesting that they keep it a mystery so that you never figure out how he knew that. So it kind of just shows you his scary genius. This is the point where I love what they do with the musical score. Absolutely love what they do with it. Like that voice, that soft, gentle humming voice as he's seeing that picture of his mother with witch on her forehead. Oh my gosh. I mean, they do, as much as this may not be my favorite Luthor interpretation, they do such a good job of making him such a formidable foe. Those of you just joining, this is the Ultimate Edition. Timestamp is 1 hour, 56 minutes, and 28 seconds.
Where is she?
See, this whole movie, he's been getting Superman to doubt himself. This whole movie, he's been getting into Superman's head. And yet again, here he is pushing the right buttons. Like as soon as Superman got his head straight back in order, he had this card to play to continue to push him. So he can't match Superman physically, but my gosh, the evil genius, which goes back to his frustration of having knowledge without power. And then again, I love in this score the Lex Luthor theme that rises up right here. Those of you just joining us, again, our timestamp, 1 hour, 57 minutes, 26 seconds on the Ultimate Edition. So join us. It's going to be an epic time. It's Justice League Eve. Super excited to get to Zack Snyder's Justice League. I'm debating if I'm going to stay up till midnight and watch it till 4 a.m. because I'm in California, so it comes out for midnight for me, or what? Hey, Sean, just rewatched this yesterday. I've grown to appreciate it more, but gosh, it's still frustrating me. You know, Sean, I get you. There's a lot of aspects of this movie that are frustrating to me. Like sometimes I still think the Doomsday thing is rushed. And Sean, in case you didn't hear me, timestamp is 1 hour, 58 minutes, 0 seconds. So dive right in with us as we get to the end of this movie. Welcome back, Steve.
Don't I know?
You need the timestamp, Steve?
Yeah.
I'm at 1 hour, 58 minutes, and 20 seconds. Now 1 hour, 58 minutes, and 30 seconds.
Brooke Baldwin is on the scene. Brooke, you're live on the air. What are you saying?
1 hour, 58, and 35 seconds.
Got it.
Perfect. Welcome back. Where's Seth?
Oh, I got to accept him.
Oh, you better accept him here pretty soon.
There he is. There we go.
Center, and we're trying to get a little bit closer here to find out what's
Jeez
going
Louise.
on. It is
So moving forward in the
light
future,
and
I'm going to have to hook up the Ethernet cable to this thing. I think it's just
Daily Planet.
too much with the Wi-Fi.
All right, so Sean Austin just joined us. So Sean,
Yeah.
I gotta say, what you need to do is go back and rewatch this because actually, their Wi-Fi going out has been a fun element in this thing.
No one stays good in this world.
No one stays good in this world. Like this sad moment where like Superman is losing hope.
Did you and Sean talk about why this movie frustrates him?
I talked a little bit about it. So Sean, if you want to dive right in with some of your thoughts on that.
Hey, Sean, let us know why this movie still frustrates you.
I mean, I mentioned my thing is, you know, still I feel like Doomsday might be a little rushed and things like that, but I'm appreciating it more and more. And Sean said that too. Like as he watches it, he appreciates it more and more.
Yeah, it's just one of those things. I'm telling you guys, everyone's expecting.
Now you're at the email scene here, right?
Yes.
So the email scene never bothered me. It bothered a lot of people, but it never bothered me, Bruce Wayne, sending this to her this way. I thought it was a cool little montage. Hey, DK Izzy. We are at 2 hours and 12 seconds if you would like to dive in and join us in watching the last hour.
Yes, the last epic hour.
DK Izzy, it depends on where you are. I'm in California, so for me, 12 a.m. So the East Coast, that's 3 a.m. So you got to do the math based on where you're at for when the Justice League drops.
Yeah, that's unfortunately, we thought it was 2 a.m. We were going to stay up and try to watch it. But now
I
that
loved it if it was 2 a.m. your time and 11 p.m. mine. My God.
But man, now that it's 3 a.m., we just can't. We're going to have to watch it in the morning.
I'm still kind of debating. I don't know. Now that I'm watching this, like my adrenaline is going, so I might stay up and watch it at midnight.
Yeah. So yeah, as we said, or as Durban said, he's in California, so it's midnight for him. It's 3 a.m. for us over here on the East Coast. Yeah.
So we are 2 hours, 1 minute, 6 seconds in. If you want to join us on the Ultimate Edition, I feel like this shot lingers too long on Aquaman. Everybody else is kind of quick and smooth, other than Cyborg, but for some reason that shot feels awkward to me. That sticks on it. Yeah, Sean, I get that. Doomsday is frustrating, but for me, it's the convoluted plan of Luthor. Steve touched on it earlier, where Luthor maybe had plan A.1.
Plan B, plan C, and Doomsday was one of those tiers of plans. Like, but I mean, I don't know. Was it? I mean,
it was a tier of plan later on, like when he realized maybe Superman would be moral and figure out how to get Batman on his side, because he had to think that was a possibility. I think when he learned about Doomsday, that was his.
Look at Cyborg here. How he's only like just the upper torso and the head.
Dr. Soderstone suspending.
Now, most hospitals die when you're like that. So why can't our labs donate this technology to hospitals?
In Justice League, they kind of re-show him being turned into Cyborg, and he's got like almost a full body in that one.
Yeah, I can't wait to see that. That'll be interesting.
Not Justice League, Justice League.
Yeah. Well, I'm looking forward to the Snyder cut to see like how much deep, because I know his characters have more central roles. So I look forward to seeing what that role is, because he was so small in the theatrical cut that it's like, what more could he do? So I'm excited to see his big role and
how he's supposed to be the heart of the.
Jenny, get a report to Gotham and forget the heliport. Put it on the goddamn.
That blows my mind.
Lois.
Do you think HBO Max is going to crash at midnight California time tonight?
Oh no, you let us know.
I'm willing to bet.
Says, and there's a lot of ideas thrown into the movie. I feel it would have benefited from mostly focusing Batman and Superman's conflict, and felt we were robbed of that. Yeah, it does have a lot going on. That's true.
Well, here I am. Bruce.
Something they missed? We can all pick up. He used his X-ray and saw through the mask and saw that was Bruce Wayne. But they missed a great moment of reveal, like where he actually did it. Superman the Animated Series, they did a World's Finest episode where Superman X-rayed through Batman's mask, and Superman, throws him somewhere and flies away, and then all of a sudden Batman is at Clark's apartment because he put a tracker on Clark's cape. And I feel like that would have been awesome if we had something like that in here. When you're silent, it scares me. I'm wondering if your Wi-Fi is crashing again.
No, I'm over here focused on what Sean Austin said.
Gotcha.
I'll put it back up here. There's a lot of ideas thrown into the movie. I felt like it would have benefited mostly from focusing on Batman and Superman's conflict. I felt that we were robbed of that. But their conflict is an illusion. Is my issue. The actual conflict that they have doesn't actually exist. So there's really a shallow conflict to have. It's manipulation of their minds, and that's what Lex Luthor is doing. I don't see there actually being more to dive into.
And Batman died. Like, seriously, he's dead. with that move. You do not, I don't care what your suit is. You don't live through that.
Oh, but Iron Man can live through everything? Right.
Well, that's meant to be more cartoony, and they established that as more cartoony. This, I feel like, is trying to be a little bit more grounded, and so that's why I kind of cringe when he goes through the brick wall like that.
Well, I think they explained it well. This is where I start defending this movie big time, because I think they explain it well with that suit. That suit is, okay, that's why he survived going through that wall, because he had that suit on. Okay,
Yeah.
I accept this.
For our new person who jumped in, we are on the Ultimate Edition, 2 hours, 5 minutes, and 27 seconds. 2 hours, 5 minutes, and now 32 seconds. I love the lines right here.
Have you ever seen the Dark Knight Returns?
Yes, very good. Very good.
That was Green Arrow who shot that.
Yep, I remember that. And isn't he missing an arm because Superman ripped it off at some point?
Yeah, yep. Or I don't remember exactly why his arm's missing, but yeah.
Men are brave. Gosh. There are some epic lines in this movie.
Oh.
Lantern 2814 agrees with you. Lex's plan is ingenious, pinning the heroes against each other like this. It's funny because on the one hand, I think I recognize what Sean is saying, and I agree. On the other hand, you know, here we are in a comic book universe, and what we're really trying to see is, like you said earlier, that's if Lex had a superpower, that's his superpower. Like the fact that he's able to look back and see that whole picture and work this out.
And again, everyone's wanting this movie to be, you know, like a universe sort of thing. You know, there's a again, and I sound like a broken record talking about this, but there's a finite story being told, and we haven't seen that finite.
It's only supposed to be 5 movies or something, right? Not more than that.
Right, a 5-part arc. There's a reason why we're going through these. Why we're going through this fight between them. The reason why Lex Luthor pins them against each other. He's not really pinning Batman against Superman. I don't think Lex really cares what Batman does.
Yeah.
He just thought Batman is he's the most qualified person I think can beat Superman. And
I love this. That moment where Superman just, you know, stands firm and his fists just are hitting a wall.
Yeah. And Batman's like, okay, oh shit, all right.
You know, it's fun. I think I'm now a few seconds ahead of you, so I'm hitting these cool scenes, and then I'm hearing in my headphones where you're at. I'm like, I got there first.
Oh, you can hear my movie through.
Oh, I hear your movie just fine in my headphones, so it's kind of funny. I'm listening to mine, hearing yours, but the echo does not bother me. I just hear it twice. Oh, did you see Sean Austin's new comment here?
No, sorry, I was watching BBS.
That's a good movie. He says, "I see your point."
I get so distracted watching this movie, like especially this scene.
It's so good. But he said, "That's fair. I do feel like Bruce's reasons for wanting to destroy Superman is fairly valid on his end, and I think Superman representing the point of view of mankind." And not quite knowing Superman has only been around for a year and a half. It's like, yeah, he's looking at the negative side and the fear, and then how Luthor is framing Superman. It's like, yeah, from Batman's perspective, he's got to do this.
Yeah, Batman, like you say, he is the perspective of the human race, you know, and that's what Lex Luthor wants. He wants people to see him for the fraud that he is. You know,
yeah. And I said this when you were gone, when you got kicked off. But Luthor's plan here is, you know, if Superman wins and rips off Batman's head, he's destroyed Superman's legacy. And that's what he's going after. He's not just trying to kill Superman. He wants to destroy what Superman is attempting to stand for, to show the holes in the holy, as he said.
Well, not just that, but he also, in the same aspect, destroys everything Batman's about. And which some could argue that.
So why wouldn't Batman stop branding people as soon as he saw the frickin' news? Oh, they're killing all the people I brand? Okay, maybe I should stop branding them.
Yeah.
But that's well, maybe it's not a minor point, but it's not something that bothers me a ton.
No, it doesn't bother me. I could see why it bothers people.
Yeah.
But it doesn't. I don't know. I find it nitpicky, but I'm also a huge fucking fan of this movie. You know, like I just.
Yeah. No, I agree. I'm a fan of this movie overall. I do have my issues with it, but I am a fan of this movie. I'm trying to figure out the physics in this scene, though.
Right. Yeah, they are tough. If only they had showed some like gears on his suit to help him, like, you know, pull and throw. Wasn't
but how did he get the momentum to get him that high as he's swinging him?
I don't know. Here we are discussing physics once again. You know, just like I did with the cape, and just like people do, wondering why SpongeBob can have fire underwater. You know, we just have to accept these things.
In reality, this is a movie about a dude in blue tights that can fly and another guy who dresses up like a bat.
Yeah. Who can also fly, but we don't know why.
Yeah. Well, he can glide.
He can glide, yes.
So the infamous Martha scene. So how I interpret this scene, and I'm going to sound like a broken record, but when he says the name Martha, I feel like it's the moment Batman wakes up. And he was powerless to save his Martha in the gutter. He was powerless to save Robin when Joker killed him. And now he's become the villain, making another man powerless to save his Martha. That's how I interpret this.
Yeah, absolutely. And unfortunately, most viewers of movies aren't reviewers. You know, they don't analyze deeply. They need things explained to them, and that's not an insult to average moviegoer. I'm an average moviegoer, but at the same time, I'm able to connect the dots of why this would affect, you know, Bruce.
Yeah.
But also understanding the other side of it, which is what I was saying earlier, that I wish they would have dove more deep into Bruce Wayne's somber connection with his mother's death, like showing him more emotionally tied into her death specifically. You know, they did the scene with the you know, tombstone bleeding, but it just wasn't enough to make it across to everybody. You know.
Can you pull up Lantern 2814's comment? He's got a really good comment here.
2814. Yep.
Yep. Lantern 2814.
What's up, buddy? That's the thing about Batman. He's completely lost. No hope. Keeps deflecting all the killing he's doing. He brands the criminals, and he sort of saying it's not his fault if they die. Yeah, he's a lot. Yeah, I matter of fact, I said that on Lantern's show the other day, that he's lost. He's absolutely lost at this point, and that's what makes this beautiful, is because Superman becomes his hope. Superman is the new hope for him. And in Zack Snyder's Justice League, I hope to see that transition of regret, because like I said before, he blamed I see Batman being the person that would blame himself for killing somebody, even though he didn't really kill somebody, he just couldn't save them.
And that's the character arc we were missing in the 2017 Justice League, for sure. 100%.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we're missing the character arc of Superman coming back to life to a world that hated him. He didn't see them come together and love him after he was dead. So, we didn't get him coming to terms with anything when he came back. So I'm looking forward to what we get out of Snyder here.
She's losing time.
The scout ship seems to be drawing power from the city.
Ooh, Sean Austin's got another good comment. I think in 2016, when this movie came out, people were taken off guard because they were so used to Batman not being as brutal as he was in BVS.
Well, yeah,
I like the brutal Batman. I do. It's a cool take.
Yeah, and a bit hypocritical, like you mentioned before, Durbin. How many times has fucking Batman killed?
I know.
It wasn't until the Nolan movies come out and they're like, by the way, he has this rule that everyone's like, Batman's rule. Now it's like written in stone that's the rule he has to follow.
Well, he's had it in other versions. I think Keaton broke that rule, and so it just didn't exist in those movies, and it didn't come back until the Nolan trilogy when he killed the villain at the end of the Nolan
that's an entire decade of movies that just threw that concept off to the side. And we're talking moviegoers. We're not talking comic book readers. We're not talking that. We're talking somebody like me who just watches movies. I didn't know the whole Batman didn't kill thing until Nolan's movies, you know?
Yeah.
See, Lantern 2014. The Martha moment is triggering Batman's PTSD, and I think it's another moment of him realizing Lex has played him. Yeah, well, yeah, you're right. If only Superman would have tried to warn him.
Yeah.
Which is what he tried to do at the very beginning of that fight. You know, he tried to warn him that Lex.
I love that fight, so I try to ignore the fact there are so many moments Superman could have said what he was trying to say. So I try to ignore that, my suspension of disbelief.
Yeah.
The fight is fun. I like it. It's hard, though, because I had that nagging thing. Like, Superman, you had like 500 opportunities to spell out what's going on.
Yeah, you could honestly pin him down to the ground.
Yeah.
And just tell him, hey, here's what's happening.
Right. Yeah.
You know.
But if I go nitpicking like that, I mean, this movie should only be 5 minutes long, and there would be no story.
Well, it also would have been a good opportunity for them to actually introduce, Green Arrow and have Green Arrow be the one shooting the kryptonite dust, at Superman if he does pin Bruce Wayne down.
This is the single best live-action Batman scene, period. He can turn his head, unlike Michael Keaton and Christian Bale. He has full body movement. And even though he's slower because he's older, he beats the ever-living tar out of these guys. It's freaking amazing.
Well, and he has, like, a reason for doing it. Like, there's conviction behind this.
Yeah.
He has something to prove. He's pissed right now. He's been had.
Yeah, well, he's woke. Like, he actually woke up.
Yeah.
And he's like, I knew better than this. He is the world's greatest detective.
Yeah,
He is embarrassed. He is angry.
That's why this is the most Batman scene, because he's back to being Batman right here.
It's awesome. I love it.
And he still kills. Yeah, it takes time.
Sean Austin said the warehouse scene got me pumped in theaters. And yeah, dude, I was on the edge of my seat during this scene. It was so awesome.
Yeah, Sean, and this is another one of the spoilers they let out. They let this scene out on YouTube.
Oh, yeah. It's insane. I don't understand what the Warner Brothers marketing was doing, especially that trailer that showed every beat of each act of the film, including unveiling Wonder Woman and Doomsday. It made me so angry when I saw that trailer.
It's a lack of faith in Snyder. It's a lack of faith in people wanting to come see this movie. They're like, show them the good stuff. Show them the good stuff. Don't show them that boring storyline stuff. No, flashy, shiny things, zippy. Like that's what they want.
Yep.
God, that looks like it hurts.
It really does. Oh gosh, did you see his arm was bent the wrong way?
Yeah.
Look, Batman is on his back and beating the tar out of these guys. Stabbed in the shoulder and beating the tar out of these guys. This is the best live action Batman fight ever. Oh, into that guy's shoulder.
I wonder if we'll get another shot like this in the Snyder Cut. Another Batman redemption scene,
I hope so. Sean Austin said, part of my frustration with this movie is the ups and downs it has. LOL. But the warehouse scene is a great up. I agree. It is a great up. And this is a great Dark Knight Returns moment here.
Oh, yeah. I believe you. Yeah.
Yep.
What were you going to say, Seth?
I was just saying I hope so. I hope there's another scene like this in the Snyder Cut.
I hope I'm not talking over you, Seth.
You were
not. A lot.
Well, to be honest with you, Durbin, if you weren't here, it would just be me and Seth just watching this movie.
That is probably correct.
I'll kill her.
I believe you.
Durbin, what's your timestamp on this movie right now?
Oh, my timestamp is 2 hours, 19, 21 seconds. 2 hours, 19, 24 seconds. 2 hours, 19, 25, 26.
Okay, so you're about
29,
seconds
30.
ahead.
Yes. I'm getting the good stuff before you get it. Just seconds before. I get why she's thinking this, and no Kryptonian villain popped up here. But honestly, if I was her, I think I would have kept it so that I could go put it in a safe somewhere or something. Like I don't know. Like I just feel like that's an unsafe place to hide it.
It was a way to set up the damsel in distress moment. It's one of my biggest one of my few pet peeves with this movie. It was also on my what I don't like list is Lois throwing that spear into the water. Number one, only to set up for her going to retrieve it and drown, or
How did she figure out the beast was Kryptonian? Oh, probably just power to the ship. That's probably what it was.
Well done.
Hello. Yeah, but like I'm with you. How does she know? Like power to the ship? Like that doesn't answer that question. Oh, that monster must be Kryptonian because there was lightning striking the ship.
I don't take the sinner.
It's been a few seconds since they said it, but I love the line. I'd rather do the breaking in person.
I do love that line.
I'm not a big fan of that line.
Cannot let you win.
I'm not a big fan of Batman calling. That bothers me. I'm just imagining Batman on his bat phone, waiting for the rings.
Yep. Now, even though Doomsday is a 100% rip off the cave troll from Lord of the Rings, this introduction to him.
No, I don't watch those movies.
Well, I've watched those movies, and lots of other people have, and they all know the truth. Somebody stole the design of the cave troll.
I'm gonna look that up. I'm gonna look up the cave troll.
You watched the movie with me over the internet. You saw the cave troll. Don't pretend.
You see how well that sticks in my head?
I remember that
fucking movie.
I remember doing that. I don't remember the movie that much though.
I'll look it up. The cave troll looks extreme. Yeah, see, Sean Austin agrees with me. Doomsday was a troll. LOL. But this is still a great introduction, despite how he looks. You're Doomsday.
Born to destroy you.
I love the poetic, the poeticness that happens here. When Lex Luthor's, nobody saved me from the fist of abomination. No one was here to save me from Daddy's fist of abomination.
But
here comes Abomination, pretty much going to punch Lex, and Superman saves him.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's so poetic.
Is good as dead.
How bad do you think his breath smells?
I know. I'd imagine it's like a baby, like a puppy breath. Disgusting. People love puppy breath. See, Batman or Superman just saved him from the fist of abomination.
Yeah,
and Lex will never see that. Lex will never see that side of him.
No, because here they are enemies, and Superman saved his enemy. So, I mean, even though people kind of see a darker, mopier side of Superman in this movie, he just saved his enemy. So I do recognize that. One thing I wish they did in this fight, so when you go to the animated New 52 verse, there's the great movie where he dies, and he's fighting Doomsday on a bridge, and something collapses, and he saves a kid, and then he saves the kid's little video game player, hands the game to the kid, says, "Now please run home to your mom," and then continues the fight. And I feel like if they would have done a few moments like that, it might have made some people a little bit happier, and they had time to do it.
You're right, but to me, Superman's not. He doesn't know how to Superman yet.
That is true. We are only a year and a half in.
He doesn't know how to Superman
his
yet.
Second big deal. Yeah.
I think him dying is him learning how to Superman. He's like, I'm gonna have to lay it all down.
It's his rebirth. Like you're right. Like in the next movie, when he's reborn, he's come into a world where he really laid it all down for this world. Now he's got to carry that lesson with him.
All right, Martian Manhunter. Now would be a good time to show up.
I know, right?
He's like, ooh, but all that fire though. I don't do good with fire.
So Lantern 2814, Sean Austin, whoever else is watching, since we know who Martian Manhunter is, like, what are your guys'? As I choke on my own spit, what is your thoughts on why he's not showing up here?
Just moments ago.
Yeah, Lantern. I'm very curious what you would have to say about that.
Now, military aircraft, those are Apache helicopters.
Other than they didn't know he was going to be Martian Manhunter yet.
Right. What'd you say?
So the TVs on the seats of the plane. I've only been on one plane that had
that.
It depends on the plane. If you're going a long distance, you will have those TVs on like a bigger plane going a long way. I had them when I went on my honeymoon. It was fun.
What was weird is when I had them on the way to where I was going, but I didn't have them on the way back.
Yeah, I know. It's not very.
Well, the TVs only go that way.
So Sean says, I feel like he was in hiding, much like Diana cut herself off from humanity. Well, Wonder Woman 84 undercuts that theory, but I don't put Wonder Woman 84 in this continuity, so, you know.
Wonder Woman 84, though, it's,
How best to describe
you see her, like, destroying cameras and stuff that could film her.
Yeah, but she says in this movie, I walked away from humanity for 100 years. So even though she's breaking cameras, she hasn't walked away. She's helping humanity. So for me, the whole Wish thing is a different continuity. I can't see how that fits in the Snyderverse.
Sir,
He does have a point.
We can go straight to
Snyderverse is the whole DCEU has the weirdest continuity. Now that we know, like,
no, it doesn't. Don't say that.
It does.
No.
Wait, hold on. To his point, the DCEU has the weird continuity. The Snyder Cut universe flows.
Well, yeah, the Snyder Cut universe breaks off.
When you say the weirdest,
the canon, though, like
I say
X-Men is worse.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. The weirdest continuity award goes to X-Men.
That's not really what I meant when I said the weirdest. I wasn't referring. I wasn't specifically saying, "Oh, this has the weirdest continuity of any universe on the planet."
I can't believe I got confused. I'm sorry.
But I do love this scene. This is
he's trying. He's learning from the previous movie. He's learning from what happened with Zod. Take this thing out of the city.
Yeah. This is a lesson well learned here, and you see
he knows. He knows he could die here,
and he turned to face his death to destroy that creature. This is why Superman's awesome in almost any universe he's portrayed in, no different from me here. Like, Superman is awesome.
Although there was one aspect in this is a beautiful shot, by the way.
It really is.
There's one aspect of The Dark Knight Returns I wish they would have thrown in here that would have helped, and that's when there is no sun, Superman takes the energy from the plants, the photosynthesis, the energy they absorb from the sun, he takes that from them to gain energy.
Interesting.
But I do like the beautiful shot of him, hanging out above the world.
Sean says Martian Manhunter may have also found a way to serve humanity without taking his Martian form. I just hope he gets character development in the Snyder Cut. Me too.
Superman.
I'm wondering how much of him we're gonna see in the Snyder Cut.
You know
I'm
what?
assuming Martian Manhunter, as Martian Manhunter, only has a couple minutes of screen time, but in that form, in that specific form, how much are we gonna?
Okay,
if any.
Well, here's something else that Sean saying that just kind of made me think. How do we know we don't see Martian Manhunter in this movie besides just that one character?
That's true. He could be many different characters.
Yeah.
Where else
this
would
shot here with dead-looking Superman, beautiful. Continue.
First time I saw this movie, first thing that popped in my head was Bizarro.
Yeah, me too.
Me too.
Shockwaves are getting stronger.
Sean said Martian Manhunter is my favorite superhero, and if I see his full form in this movie, I may tear up. He's not my favorite, but I might tear up anyway.
Martian Manhunter's cool.
He is cool. I love Martian Manhunter. He deserves.
I want him to get more recognition.
Yeah,
he barely gets any recognition.
I think it's because they have trouble writing in the comics solo stories with him. He's great in the Justice League, but they have trouble with solo stories with him. I don't know why. He's a really interesting character.
I mean, he has potential, though.
He has tons of potential.
Master Wayne, are you receiving me?
I love Alfred's snide remark coming up here.
Only kryptonite weapons can kill it. They might, if you had any left.
That line.
Yeah.
The spear.
Yeah, Batman's going through a lot of emotional.
It's back in Gotham. I can penetrate the skin.
Clairvoyance. He's starting to understand in a lot of his shit right now.
He's got a lot of thoughts.
I don't deserve you, Alf.
Sean Austin says that's very true. He's going to be Martha in the film at some point. We know that, and it's in the second trailer. Martha with red eyes. I don't know.
Right? Yeah, that's why we know that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Does that mean that was supposed to be Martian Manhunter when Lois and Martha were together in that one
I don't
scene?
know. But this shot is my second favorite right here. I love this shot.
That is cool.
And look at the particles move away, like the rock's lifting when he flies.
But I do think that when Martha and Lois are talking in that one scene, I do think that is meant to be Martian Manhunter.
The one where they force that alien anal probe joke on us?
One.
Yeah.
I don't think that will be in the Snyder Cut.
Well, no, not the joke, but that scene where she's talking to Martha.
I think that was a reshot scene, but I think it was still something that Snyder shot, if that makes any sense. They refilmed that part.
Yeah.
What an epic way to see Wonder Woman. My gosh.
Oh, yeah. Best introduction of a superhero ever.
Yes.
For sure.
Too bad they blew it in the frickin' marketing, but taking that apart, this is awesome.
I wonder what that scene looks like in IMAX.
Oh, man.
Hopefully
we'll find out soon.
I love the Wonder Woman theme.
I do too.
Which they also neutered in Justice League.
Yeah.
They did that a lot in that movie, though.
Yeah.
Well, it was Danny Elfman who was great at it, but it just didn't work for that.
They used that theme, but they didn't use it completely. They didn't use like the way they ran. I forget what they did. They used like shit. I can't remember.
Did they use that theme in Wonder Woman 84?
Did you find the spear?
I don't remember now. I was trying to remember that.
Dang, this
Is that how incredible that movie got to me?
I know in Justice League they used that theme, but they used an orchestra as opposed to there's an actual method they used to make that. If anybody knows what method they used to make that guitar sound, I can't remember off the top of my head.
I love that shot there too. The DC Trinity for the first time on the silver screen.
Yeah.
Now imagine a shot like that, except
with
in
everybody.
Final Justice League. You'll have characters probably like Green Lantern, Martian Manhunter, maybe even throw in a few more in there.
Sean Austin says they did use the Wonder Woman theme in the fight overseas in the desert in Wonder Woman 84. So apparently, I already had forgotten about that. So thank you, Sean. He also said he fell in love with Wonder Woman in this.
I think we all did.
Yep.
You see,
I mean, look at that. Look at that. It's like she's like, come on, bring it on, punk. Like that's the expression on her face. Only cooler.
What? Wonder Woman flies?
It's confusing, isn't it? I think she glides with style. Or falls with style, like they say in Toy Story.
See, look at this. This is perfect unity. This is them working as a team. You know, Justice League, there is none of this. There is no working as a team. You have Batman over here, doing something with parademons. You have Flash over here saving something. You have Superman lifting a building. I don't know. There's no unity in that movie.
No, and here you have Batman waiting for an opportunity where he can do something, but not being an idiot. And then you have Wonder Woman and Superman cohesively beating the tar out of this guy.
And that's also a very iconic Snyder shot, showing a pan of from a perspective of one of the characters in his movies is a very Snyder thing to do, which is what that Batman shot was. When you see Batman just like watching what's going on, it's beautiful.
It is.
See, I don't like this damsel in distress moment. I mean, it gets Superman away from the situation. It does add into like she is his world and stuff, but I don't like the way she got in there. I think that's what I'm trying to say. I don't like the way she got to that position.
The powerful thing when you're watching Superman fight Doomsday in like the animated movie, it's like they kill each other. Like they just beat each other down until they're dead.
What? They kill each other in this one, don't they?
Well, yes, but it's because Superman stabs him with a kryptonite spear, and so it's a little bit different. But I agree with you. I think there's a great momentum, but making her a damsel in distress breaks the momentum. So I wish she didn't throw it in that water pit, and then maybe she could have been trying to find a way to get it to him, and it wouldn't have been this like moment of long separation from.
Well, I like that. I actually enjoyed the break in the monotony of like this constant, superhero battle for this moment, because it really builds up to what happens next greatly. Just my problem is the situation that got him to this moment.
Right.
Just her. Oh, I'm going to throw this down there. Oh, I'm going to retrieve this again. It's kind of a throwaway Lotus moment. Yeah, Batman Return shot. Yep, not Batman. Dark Knight Returns.
When I watched this with my wife Laura, she's like, "What is he doing there? How's that going to help him?" And I'm like, "Well, it's because he's distracted, and then he didn't see where Batman went in the fog."
Yeah, I love that shot. I love that he does that.
Yeah. How does kryptonite affect him this fast here, but he's able to fly all the way to Doomsday in just a little bit?
I think it comes down to the way he defeated the terraforming machine in Man of Steel. It's that perseverance. It's that extra oomph that he puts in there for humanity. that separates.
Lois reminds him of the good of humanity, and she's his world. That's his oomph.
Right, exactly. And and he has that in Man of Steel when they do that Christopher Reeve's face layover shot.
I love her smile right there. Gosh, that's epic. She's like, wow, it's been so long since I had a good fight.
It's a good looking shot.
It's kind of like Wonder Woman killed Superman by chopping off Doomsday's hand and then that bone spear forming.
All right, Marvel fan. Listen,
I am a both fan. That was a joke pick on. I don't care. It's awesome.
No, Clark, you can't.
This is my world.
No, Clark, don't.
See, again, just like Man of Steel, where he chose Earth over Krypton.
You.
And then the world is turned against him by Luthor in this movie. This is his reaffirmation. Seeing the good in the world, she is his world. And it's like this moment of recommitment as he lays down his life.
She represents humanity to him.
Yes.
Oh, here's Batman. Here he comes.
You, Batman.
He's like, watch.
He's like, my moment of glory. I shined.
He's like, look, guys, I helped. From way over here.
I do think this entire segment is so well done.
Yeah.
The epic way the score builds up, the emotion of the death of Superman, so well done.
So did Doomsday get more powerful with every nuclear blast and stuff?
His thing is he evolves instantly to anything that happens. So as he was birthed on Krypton to fight Black Zero or whatever he's supposed to fight, whatever weapon was turned against him, it will hurt him, and then he will evolve. Smallville, Season 8, brought in Doomsday, and they did a great job really showing you how he became stronger throughout the season because he evolves to everything that happens to him. And they did that in this. They just said he's absorbing energy, but that's really what's going on. He's evolving to everything that happens except Kryptonite.
Oh. Yeah, walk it off. You're
Look
good.
at that wound, man. Look at that wound. That is gory.
It's a super wound.
It would have to be a super wound to take out Superman. Come on. It's interesting, all the Messiah imagery that they put in this. Like his cape is like the blanket of, when Jesus is being laid down from the cross. It's that same picture. You'll see 3 cross shapes in the background.
Oh yeah, Snyder is very biblical when it comes to storytelling, especially with Superman here.
I've noticed. Yeah,
Sean Austin says, I've actually grown to appreciate that Superman was to die in this film, but originally, when I first saw this movie, I was incredibly frustrated with him dying just after one movie. Yeah, you and like everybody else.
And I'm part of that crowd.
Yeah.
But what I always loved about it is it was the death of Superman that created the need for the Justice League. I always loved that. And now my appreciation for him dying so soon, because now that I understand, oh, that's why the world loves him. Lois published her story and cleared his name and showed it was Luthor. And the world saw Luthor's true colors and Superman's true colors. And I went, okay, his death won the world over.
Yeah, Snyder took the whole death of Superman and just flipped it. You know, it wasn't the world realizing what they lost because he was dead. It was the world realizing that, or the world seeing that he's dead and then realizing what they lost. You know, he flipped that. And God, this movie, I hope Justice League is just as good as this movie. This is Snyder's favorite shot. Batman walking through the flames there.
Oh, it's one of mine. I love it. It's a great shot. I like this shot too. This kind of wide of everybody.
Yeah.
I really have grown to appreciate this. I gave it a B the first time I saw it and did my review. So I don't know what my grade would be now. Probably in the A range, especially with this Ultimate Edition. But I have really grown to appreciate this movie as the years have gone by.
I know. I might do a review after Snyder's Justice League comes out. Now, this entire scene was cut out of the film.
Which is stupid. This is fantastic.
Yeah.
This is what leads us right into the dang Justice League.
Yeah.
And you could blatantly see that Warner Brothers went against the design for Steppenwolf.
Yep. Yeah, he just learned the entire Mother Box, dark side, everything. He just learned exactly what's going on. He knows more in this moment than we do now.
Yes, he does. Yeah. I know that trailer was saying Superman's death cry was the bell that was rung. But at the same time, it's got to be Lex Luthor's call to outer space. That was the bell that was rung. Because, you know, he like probably spelled out everything to them.
Well, I'm not so sure that Lex called out to them.
Oh, yeah. They might have.
Oh, here's what I was talking about earlier. Superman's dead, and then immediately goes to Clark Kent's obituary.
Yep.
Boom.
And there is Lois's story that clears the name of Superman and shows that it was Lex Luthor, and to show how Superman, in spite of the hate, laid his life down. Sean Austin said, I'm glad his death inspired the team. Me too. I think it's a very cool interpretation of the Justice League that there's a big threat coming and the big guns are gone. So everybody's got to unify. I thought that was a very good motivation. Very, very strong.
Well, I mean, his death definitely inspired Wonder Woman and Batman to unify the team.
Yeah.
I'm curious to see if his rebirth will unify the rest, you know, because they don't really have any vested interest. I mean, the Flash doesn't seem that, from what we know from Justice League, Flash doesn't have any vested interest in Superman. Aquaman doesn't have any vested interest in Superman.
Right.
And yet Superman affected the whole
I
world.
love the
So I wanna
Preacher.
see that
Man
in
of
this
Steel.
new- What?
The Preacher for Man of Steel.
Yeah.
I just realized that was him.
This is another moment where I really do think Perry White knows Clark Kent is Superman. The fact that he and Jenny are here. And Sean, since you weren't probably here at the beginning, Steve and I and Seth and I, all of us, have a theory that Perry White this entire time knows Clark Kent is Superman.
Oh, yeah. He does. He knows.
He knows. My wife agrees with me. So when I get my wife agreeing with me on nerdom of this level, you know it's a good theory.
Clark had this sent here so he could surprise you.
I remember reading the Death of Superman novel, and a moment similar to this was in there. I think he had already proposed and he died. And in the novel, when you get to the rise of the Supermen with the 4 fake Superman that rise up, you have this woman who was claiming to be Superman's fiance. So you had a lot of fakers that were rising up and claiming this or that relation to Superman to get their time in the spotlight. It was
That would be a good movie.
yeah.
What the rise of the 4 fake Supermen, you know, or not fake, but just that whole storyline is great.
Yeah.
Especially that, like, the Superboy, you know, the genetic recreation from Lex.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which isn't that what Titans had?
Yeah, I think that is where the Titans character comes. Well, in some versions, that's where the Titans character comes from. That
I meant on DC Universe.
Oh, I didn't like that Titan show. I got to where that Superboy showed up, and that's about where I lost interest.
I liked the first season.
The first season was better than the second one, which
I
is
agree. I have 2 episodes left, and I just can't get to it.
I didn't even get to Superboy. When we watched it, we didn't even get to that episode. We watched like 4 or 5 episodes, maybe 4.
Yeah.
We just
Die Hard Superman. I forced myself to get there, but I was done.
The plot just wasn't there. Like, it was all over the place.
Yeah.
Sean Austin asks, do you think Lex has known about Darkseid and Steppenwolf's desire to conquer Earth and just wanted to help remove Superman as a threat? Could that have actually been Lex Luthor's ultimate goal? My personal opinion is no. He just learned that, and his reaction when we see Steppenwolf, you know, and when he's kind of getting the backstory of Steppenwolf, because when he sees Steppenwolf, it's not actually Steppenwolf. It's that weird beady metal shit that you see in Man of Steel.
Yeah.
It explains the history lesson. I think that's when Lex Luthor feels absorbed into something greater, much like Batman feels that way about, you know, starting the Justice League. Lex Luthor feels this way about what's coming now that Superman's dead. And, you know, he's the one that killed Superman, which is why I find his absence so mysterious in Justice League. And I said that in my review. I said, why isn't Lex a part of this? You know, like, he knows about the mother boxes. He knows about Steppenwolf's plan. He's not going to sit back and ride a boat and just be like, well, I guess we need to start a league of our own. You know, no. Where was your master plan?
In fact, I actually pictured it as the serpent in the garden. You know, so the serpent in the garden promised Adam and Eve knowledge. So Lex has knowledge, right? What Lex wants is power with his knowledge. And I wonder if this serpent in that ugly, messy garden was offering him power to go with his knowledge, and instead he didn't get it. So I hope that kind of thing gets addressed.
Well, knowing Snyder and how biblical he can be, I'm sure there's some sort of inspiration to that notion.
Yeah. And I wouldn't be surprised. And I'm going that way because, you know, I'm in my head already planning a theological analysis for, you know, Snyder's cut, because I'm positive he's going to have something deep and biblical in it.
All those circuses back east carrying empty box.
They don't know how to honor him, except as a soldier.
This breaks my heart for Bruce Wayne here.
Life.
Those lines.
I won't fail him in death. Help me find the others like you.
Perhaps they don't want to be found.
They will. And they'll fight. We have to stand together.
$100 years ago, I walked away from it.
I love the music that's playing. It's the music that goes during the ending credits.
Yep.
It's the
she walked away from mankind. She didn't
Yeah.
run around secretly in 1984. She walked away.
Well, it was the 80s, you know.
I guess nobody remembers the 80s or that giant supernatural event where everybody's wishes were granted.
Right.
I'm a jerk to that movie. I didn't hate that movie, but it does not fit this continuity.
No, but to me, it's one of those, just like Iron Man 3, one of those one-line dialogue thing that will just, oh, okay, that makes sense now. You know, like it's.
I love this music here. If you seek his monument, look around you. I love it.
The others like me. Why did you say they'll have to fight?
Independence Day is coming.
Just a feeling.
Because we're superheroes. That's what we do.
Okay, so I can understand in this scene how Batman comes in here out of nowhere, right? He's like a trained ninja. How did he make these older gentlemen who have no training disappear just as fast as he appeared?
Because he's Batman.
There you go. That's the answer I was waiting for.
Turn around and face the wall.
I never thought I'd say this about Lex Luthor, but I miss his hair.
Put your forehead against the wall. Put your hands behind your back so that I can come in and restrain you.
I do love this scene.
Yeah, Jesse Eisenberg does a great job. Oh, well, first of all, you know me. He does a great job during this whole movie.
Right,
but especially in this scene, showing fear.
I agree. And yet dropping the hints, I know you're Bruce Wayne. Sean
I don't know how he does. I don't know how he does that cheek twitching thing, but it really just adds to the scene.
Civilization on the wane, manners.
And then the snot noises he makes, yeah.
Believe me.
Sean Austin said, I know in the original plans for JL Part 2, Luthor forms the Legion and in turn brought Darkseid to Earth. Darkseid then used the anti-life equation to take over Superman after he killed her. I didn't know that, so that's interesting.
That's not where you're going. So make sure you
I don't.
the Arkham Asylum in Gotham.
I don't know. I haven't heard some of that. Now there is a side of that I have heard, and that it's Steppenwolf / Darkseid, whatever thing, did use the anti-life equation to take over Superman. You know, and to bring him back. And I do remember hearing something about that. Like he Steppenwolf was supposed to be the one that brought him back. Am I saying that right?
I think so. Sorry, I got focused on how hard can Batman punch a solid concrete wall.
He's hungry.
Ding, 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 ding. This music and way he does that, it takes me back to M. Night Shyamalan. What was that one where they're in the Village? The Village. It takes me back to like The Village for some reason.
I've never seen The Village. Yeah.
You probably don't need to.
M. Night.
Well, I enjoyed it. I thought it was one of his last good ones before he got all bad, before he got all good again.
Yeah. M. Night Shyamalan Ding Dong is a hit and miss, but he is the director of some of my favorite movies. So,
you know, I agree with Luthor. Devils come from the sky. They're a fallen angel. They come from the sky. But that's me getting overly theological.
Well, I mean, that's a very theological.
Now listen to the music. The way the music plays, you can hear a heartbeat. Just listen. And it's a slow, steady one. There's one.
I heard it.
And it'll come back. It'll come back. It takes a while. It's like the indication he's alive under there. So give it a second.
Well, that makes the scene even a little bit more morbid.
Doesn't it? They buried a dude who's alive.
I heard it.
Yeah, every time you hear that, that's like a heartbeat, in my opinion.
This is the one thing or not the one thing, but something I'm hoping to get from the Snyder Cut.
I love that shot, and I love the dirt rising and then credits.
Why does the dirt rise?
It's just a call back to Man of Steel when he flew for the first time.
Yeah, but that only happens when he's about to fly.
Yeah.
Is he actually alive in there, or does he get brought back to life?
He's stuck. He's stuck in decay mode. Like he's not not decay mode. He's not decaying, but he's not dying. You know, he's not.
The comics state that he's alive, that he is in a coma healing state, and the fact that he was deprived of the sun is bad. But the old comic I read, and I think the animated movies clearly state he is not technically dead. But I don't know what the movie states. I mean, that's different. The movie might be doing something different, so we'll see.
I guess we'll see tomorrow.
I love this the score, the credit score here. That's the codex the codex score.
I do too.
I love that because the codex is, Superman's birthright. That's everything magical about Superman is the codex.
Aren't there rumors that the codex is very important in bringing Superman back to life? Like it's part of the reasons they could bring him back? Or there's something else going on with the storyline with him and the codex?
That would make sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sean Austin says, after killing Lois, okay.
Yes.
Superman joins Darkseid and uses his laser beams to kill Luthor. Yeah, because I don't know if it's going to happen in the Snyder Cut, but Lois was supposed to die in the original format of Justice League, but Warner Brothers shot that down. They wouldn't let Zack Snyder do that. Darkseid was supposed to kill Lois, and he could have used Luthor as a pawn for that. But
it'd be interesting.
Yeah, I can't wait to see what they do. I'm still debating, do I want to watch it at midnight tonight, California time, or
Durban, do you work tomorrow?
I work from home. This is what I do. So
okay, then, dude, midnight. Watch the fucking movie. Stay up till 4 and have fun. I mean, Seth and I were gonna do it when it was 2 a.m. here, and then when they pushed it to 3, we're like, okay, that extra hour.
I mean,
it's a little too much.
I mean, we could.
No.
It's only in
actually,
4
why don't you guys do this? Go to sleep as soon as we sign off.
We could go to sleep right now. We could take a 4-hour nap right now.
There you go. Yes. And then wake up, down that coffee, and hit play. And there you go.
I'm down for whatever you want to do. Just throwing that out there.
That's a brilliant idea I just gave you. You're excited now. Yeah, look at that. Look at that. He's thinking about it. He's thinking about it.
We'll talk later.
So, Durban, we need to do a post game show on your channel.
Yeah. Well, we will get that figured out. Brian Lomax might join us for that if we do it next week, because he said in his comment to me, he said he wants to let this movie absorb. So I think maybe if we take our time, do our individual videos, get our thoughts out there, and let it absorb, we will be ready to do an epic post-game thing.
I think that's fair. I think that's fair. Sean, he has to work tomorrow. Watching it after. All right, cool, Sean.
I'm also terrified of spoilers. It's also why I feel like I have to watch it at midnight.
I haven't watched any reviews, not even spoiler-free reviews.
That's smart.
Seth,
I've watched one.
Seth tried to convince me to watch Sean Chandler's.
That's because it got me so excited.
Yeah.
Yeah.
His review got
All
me
right, Sean,
so
have
excited.
a good night, buddy. Thank you.
Yeah, I love Sean Chandler. I love Cody Leach. I love you guys. I couldn't watch the reviews because I will watch them after I see the movie, but I feel like I can't risk it. They're both very good at not doing spoilers when they do a spoiler-free review, but I can't bring myself to do it. I want to go into this as cold as I can.
Yeah.
That's understandable. And, with them giving out early access to a bunch of people, including Sean Chandler, you know that there are leaks out there. In fact, I didn't see any spoilers, but I know for a fact earlier today, the entire movie was on YouTube.
Dang. Poor Zack Snyder. That's annoying.
It's been taken down now, but the entire movie was up.
That's ridiculous.
Was it really?
It was. Yeah, the whole movie was on YouTube for like a few hours.
What
like,
glory does a person get out of doing that? Like, seriously, like you're not going to get money for that. You're going to lose your YouTube channel. What comes to you for doing something stupid like that?
Yeah, I have no idea.
Oh man. All right.
All right. Yep. Durbin, thank you so much for joining us here for my impromptu Batman v Superman watch party. We weren't. This party became an idea because of the 3 a.m. announcement.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was like, well, let's just watch Batman v Superman as a watch party. And as I'm asking Seth, hey, do you want to watch it as a watch party? I'm already hitting up Durbin, like, hey, you want to do a watch party tomorrow?
Yep.
But yeah, I do want to come. We'll put our first reaction out and get a review out in the next few days. And then maybe in a week or so, head over to Durbin's channel and do a post game show. And Seth, your invitation's open for that.
Yeah, you were invited to the first one, so come on for the next one.
So, all right, cool, Durbin. Well, thank you so much, man. Again, if you want to follow Durbin on his channel, I have the link below. And Durbin, be sure just tell them where else they can find you.
Well, you got me on Twitter at World of Durbania. Facebook, just search Durbania. You can follow me there. Post all the links so you know when I'm posting videos and all that fun stuff. So come over, check it out. I definitely got to dive in all this Justice League stuff. I mentioned it earlier. I do this thing called a theological analysis where I like to get really deep and find the deep theological God things in movies. I have a blast with that. So I'm sure Snyder is going to give me plenty of fuel for this Justice League.
Yeah, he probably will. It's a good story.
It is.
The biblical side of things is a good story.
Yep.
And I don't know. I keep thinking what I'm going to see tomorrow. All right, Seth, thank you for joining us.
I had fun.
Yeah, I'm glad you decided to actually be on camera. My son is an awkward teenager, and he's scared of cameras right now, and now he's going to hate me for saying that. But I love you. Thank you for doing it.
You did good, dude. You need to get on Film Trigger more often. You got good commentary.
He does. He has good thoughts. He has good ideas, and like you said, good commentary. He's better at what he does than he thinks he is. So, all right. Thank you guys so much. Be sure to subscribe. And Durbin, I'll see you around soon, buddy.
See you soon.
All right. Bye.
All right. See ya.